Life like chess move to pieces, you know I roll in silence. On the road to them Benjis, I fill my teeth with diamonds. The Lord done put me through some tests so I can learn my lesson. They take advantage when you cool, I can't control aggression. We go back and forth talking, so who we really blaming? Tell me to change, I'm not myself, and then you start complaining. Can't understand your situation if you had a main. But you cost me for some shots, we barely knew it.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Coach T with Chicago Bears 360. Listen, man, we're back. Chicago Bears football is back like it went somewhere. Like we stopped talking about Bears football throughout the offseason. Listen, I got a new look. Y'all can see we got the new studio set up. You know what I'm saying? I got new hosts, man. It's going to be a great season. I'm glad we are back. Excited to talk Bears football. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to tell you, man. There's a lot to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Got to talk about Caleb Williams signing his contract. Him and Roma Dunze hadn't signed a rookie contract. The camp is starting next week. The rookies report, veterans report. You know what I'm saying? So much discussion, so much rhetoric about the Chicago Bears. Who will they be this year? What the record would be? There's so much to talk about. We're going to get into that and so much more. Now we're going to cue the intro. Maestro, let's go.
Life like chess move to pieces, you know I roll in silence. On the road to them Benjis, I fill my teeth with diamonds. The Lord done put me through some tests so I can learn my lesson. They take advantage when you cool, I can't control aggression. We go back and forth talking, so who we really blaming? Tell me to change, I'm not myself, and then you start complaining. Can't understand your situation if you had a main. But you cost me for some shots, we barely knew it.
And just like that, we're back. Bears fans. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the show. I got all my guests here. We got Julius up.
What's up? What's up, yeah?
The super producer. Jaden changed his name. Justin had changed his name to Jay Tarbarian.
Oh, yeah.
What's up with that, man? I see you. I like it. I like it. I like it. And AJ in the building. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Chicago Bears 360. By the way, for the fans, the subscribers to the show, this is going to be our new Sunday format. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have more guests, more people kind of in a kind of like a group chat, you know what I'm saying, before the game, before the show, the Sunday pregame show. This is going to be the new Sunday format. So I'm happy to welcome Julius, Justin, AJ, Bishop. Who am I missing that's not here yet? I think that's it, right?
That's it.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah.
So we got some paperwork.
I won't be on every Sunday, but I'll be on most of them though.
Yeah, for sure. So how's you guys' off season been watching and following the Bears? Of course, you know what I'm saying. I know, you know, a lot of people have continued to make content throughout the off season. You know what I'm saying. I probably stopped early May. I just don't want to be out here making stuff up. You know what I'm saying. It's just not that much. You know, when something happens, it happens. We'll catch up on all that other stuff, but. You know, how's you guys' off season been? I think we need an off season after the Civil War last season. How's it been, AJ?
Mine's been peaceful. See, I cut a lot of that nonsense out, so I don't get all that nonsense every day, back and forth, blah blah blah. I miss most of it. Like a lot of it. Like if it ain't from like the Bears official Twitter, I don't get none of it. I cut all that out. I'm just like, you know what? Y'all argue amongst yourselves and sound stupid every day. So for me, mine's been peaceful. I've just been chilling, waiting for camp, all the things. So I'm excited.
Yeah, we're gonna get into those camp dates in a minute. Justin, how about you?
The Bears traded my favorite player in franchise history for a sixth-round pick, and then Pittsburgh turned right around and tried to say they're gonna use him for a kick returner. So that's how my offseason been. These fucking animals, Coach T, been sitting here talking shit about my boy, and now all of a sudden he's closer to Joshua Cribbs than a starting quarterback.
That's why.
To answer your initial question, my offseason been decent. I think the Bears hit a home run in the draft. We got the executive of the year and future Coach of the Year in Shane Waldron. So I mean, I've been peaceful. I've been peaceful.
Nah, that's real. How about you, Julius?
Me? It's been cool. Like, I finally decided to take a break, like you've been trying to tell me to do for months now, off Twitter and all that. So that was amazing. Nah, man, just been chilling, doing family stuff, man. You know, me and AJ got our show, but we took a break too because we was not finna sit here and talk about nothing for a whole month and a half. So
Right. It's like I said, man, you know what I'm saying? It's only so much to talk about, you know what I'm saying? I feel like for a while they're even tuning into other shows, people just making stuff up just to talk about, like just creating controversies. Like, we're not gonna do that on Chicago Bears 360. If there's some real news to report, we'll get into it, man. But I think it's necessary to take a break after the Civil War anyway, man. And it, you know, Justin alluded to it, you know, like the franchise trade away, you know, what 50% of Bears fans, I believe, thought were, you know, the quarterback of the future. You know what I'm saying? That's neither here nor there. He's there now, kick returning in Pittsburgh, which I thought.
It was bogus putting that out.
Bogus as hell, Julius.
And then the crazy part about it is Madden doubled down. Madden 25 doubled downs on it on the promo video.
That was hilarious.
I thought that was just promo. They knew there was the buzz was gonna get the buzz going for the promo.
Bro, it's so bad. Cam Hayward said he had to apologize to everyone after that. That was wild.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I sold my gallbladder to go to London, and then they traded my boy. So.
That was crazy. They doubled down and put him in the promo for the new Madden 25.
Bro, that shit was funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, that was like, no, the crazy part is all the articles that came out to post, you know what I'm saying? Now, post trade that, you know what I'm saying, you know, taking shots at his character and stuff like that. I thought it was funny, you know, that inconvenient that those articles dropped in. But at the same time, I've also been, you know, y'all know I'm connected to a few people. So I've been keeping track of a few decisions and timeline decisions that was made around the Civil War. And I'm not gonna drop it now. I'm not gonna drop any information that I have related to the decision coming off the Civil War. I'm just gonna wait to see how this season plays out. And then let's say if it doesn't come out the way that a lot of fans are expecting it to, I mean, this experiment, you know what I'm saying, doesn't succeed, because I don't think fans are ready to have the conversation about
I am
the decision, the timeline. I said this at the end of the last season, right? I thought the Civil War was crazy.
Absolutely.
But I would watch a program. I would watch a show, a 30 for 30, about the whole Bears Justin Fields decision and the Civil War. If like ESPN 30 for 30 were to cover it and cover it from all angles, Justin's angles, Caleb Williams' angle, and Ryan Poles' angle, it would make an interesting story. And to see how those three storylines play out, you know what I'm saying? How well will Caleb Williams do in his first year, right? But underneath that, did Ryan Poles make the right decision? Underneath that, how does Justin Fields fare in Pittsburgh? How does his career go from here? Like, it's so many storylines. I'll add to the storyline. Let's talk about what's happening, what's going to happen with Luke Getsy in Las Vegas. There's already been they've already added what's the Dolphins old head coach, Phil Bond or whatever, who's offensive minded. They already added him. Yeah, Joe Philbin, right? They added him to the offensive staff to oversee Luke Getsy and doing his job in Las Vegas. Yeah, so there's already so many things that's what I'm saying. It's going to be a great season to watch. As I mentioned to Justin in pre-production, you know what I'm saying? The thing about this year for me is because Justin is no longer on a team, I get to be just a pure journalist, fan journalist. And I don't care. I just want to be entertained by the whole situation now. I'm rooting for the team, but I just think it's going to be very fun to cover.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
what I tell you when I was on your show earlier, Coach T, bro, I'm just gonna be watching. I'm just like, and if I gotta laugh, I'm gonna laugh. Like that's literally what's gonna happen. Like, bro.
Well, so what do y'all? That's a great point. What do y'all feel about like the culmination of the storylines? Let's get into like the journalistic part of it a little bit. The storylines. Yes, there's a main storyline, which is the Bears and Caleb Williams and how he'll do coming in as a rookie quarterback, Heisman Trophy winner. You know what I'm saying? All world, walks on water, feeds 5,000 with 2 loaves and what is it? 2 fish and 5 loaves. Like what do you guys? What are the storylines that you're going to be paying attention to this coming up season?
Well, me personally, I'm looking at how Caleb Williams operates with older wide receivers. So with DJ Moore, even though he's not as old as Keenan Allen, he's still a veteran in this league now, and he's one of the elder statesmen on the offense. We get into a point to where these guys get into their careers and their contracts are largely incentive based. One of the issues that I had with Justin Fields and even going to Allen Robinson, Justin wasn't helping Allen get his money at a point to where Allen was at a crossroads in his career with his health and his salary overmatching his production. Keenan Allen is on that doorstep right now with the Chicago Bears. So, Coach, you brought it up, like the development of Caleb Williams. Not only is he going to have to develop, but he's going to have to make some grown man throws to get, $50,000 to $100,000 in his homie's bank account. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How are you going to be groomed into an offense while still having to produce like a professional? Like, think about it. Tom Brady ain't the GOAT because of his championships. He's the GOAT to his teammates because nobody missed a dollar for the New England Patriots and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's a good comment, though.
Yeah, no, that's spot on. Hey, do me a favor, Julius, tag Cornelius's comment right there. I want to get to that because I thought about that last comment that you double down on right there, or you mentioned or you talked. I like that right there, what he said. How about you, AJ? What's the storylines that you're paying attention to for this upcoming season?
So for me, it's gonna be like how this team handles adversity, right? So they went through adversity last year, and this year they'll probably go through some adversity as well, right? Like how is everyone gonna respond to that? How is Caleb gonna rally this team during a time of adversity? Like if they have a loss they shouldn't have, or someone gets hurt that's important or whatever, right? There's always going to be something that happens. So how do you respond? How do you handle it? And how do you, bring the team together, as a rookie quarterback? That's what I'll be looking for.
How about yourself, Julius?
I actually want to see it's two things, and I told y'all this. I want to see Montez Sweat be mentioned as one of the top DNs in the league. So I want him to ascend to that, and then I want to see who's going to end up being the number one receiver. I think it's going to be DJ Moore, honestly. I mean, we got 3 number ones, but I think DJ Moore will end up being the guy. I think I told y'all this offline. But I want to see those two. I'm not, everything else. Oh, and then Keith just remind me one more. The defense. I want to see the defense take it up another notch. So those are the 3 things I want to see.
Go ahead, Jay.
No, I just want to piggyback off what Julius said. You talked about Montez Sweat. I need Austin Booker to be everything these people are telling me he is. Yeah. Because the physical specimen.
Get off my boys, jockstrap like that.
Yeah.
Calm down.
You started this.
Calm down.
3 months
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a huge.
Calm down.
We're here.
Calm down.
Yeah. No, I'm very much. I'm with Elise. I'm excited about Austin Booker.
Exactly.
I think he has the raw. I think he has the raw tools to be awesome. I think again, like Caleb, it's going to be his development is going to be an issue, and putting him in situationally is what's going to allow him to blossom. How many reps he gets early on in training camp and all that other stuff, and let him believe in his skill set and his body, and then situationally putting him in. But the main storyline that I'm following, of course, and I'm going to cover this on the Tuesday show, is, of course, it's going to be out. It's the film room. It's the breakdown of. It's going to be tracking through the film Caleb's development, how he's reading coverages. First of all, taking a step back, because it's not going to be necessarily focused on Caleb so much this year, but the emphasis is going to be really on Shane Waldron. That's the main story for me this year, focusing on Shane Waldron and the program that he set up to develop Caleb Williams and how much he's giving Caleb week after week, and really communicating to the audience what Shane is trying to do with Caleb right now, how they're executing, how they're going about it. That's why I want to get to training camp, because I want to see with my own eyes, okay, is he reading off the wristband, right? That's one of the things I'll be looking at. But also, what is Shane trying to do with him? What personnel groupings are they running out there? What, are they running inside, mid zone, outside zone, toss sweep? Are they running a gap power scheme? Are they running a zone scheme? Communicating that to my audience, to our audience, is what I feel like separates the show from other shows. Because again, the Chicago Bears football, from a coach's perspective, and having that detail, bringing it back to y'all and saying, hey, this is what I see, and let y'all kind of, hey, okay, now that you got what I'm seeing, what do you think is happening in between? And then at some point during the end of the season, I'll get more into, all right, weeks 14 to 18, more of what Caleb should be, or what we should be experiencing for Caleb. So definitely following that storyline. And then on the back end, I'm definitely going to be keeping up with Justin, because it's part of the conversation. It's going to be part of the conversation anyway. So we might as well be truthful about it, be honest about it, and say,
we ain't seeing that man on TV. You ain't got nothing to track.
I want to keep track of what they do in Pittsburgh.
They ain't gonna do nothing. He gonna be sitting there on the sideline holding a clipboard. Russell Wilson got his water. That's what he.
I want to keep track of Luke Getsy. I would keep track of all of it, just to see. Okay, it is what it is. Success, failure, whatever it is. Let's get into some of these these upcoming dates that we got slated in the program for the day. Let's pull up that first graphic. What we got? What we got going on? All right, yeah, just to keep y'all updated. So, you know what I'm saying? The we got camp coming up, of course, the practice schedule Friday 26th and 27th. I heard everybody voicing their frustration. Some people got tickets, they didn't. They didn't like how the Bears went about it on Ticketmaster and making that whole lottery thing or whatever. I didn't even try because we working on some other stuff. But either way, you know what I'm saying? If you're going to be at training camp, do me a favor, take a lot of pictures. Let us know what you're seeing. You know what I'm saying? Come back to the comments and comment. Let us know what you've been seeing out there and how things are going and stuff like that. And you look up, you might see your boy. You might see Julius. You might see some other folks out there. Who from the team is going to any of these practices?
Of course.
Just Elise, I think, right?
Elise, what days you gonna be there, Elise?
Well, I got tickets for the 26th. So the first open day.
So we're gonna have somebody from the team tapped in. Me and Elise, we can probably do a little offline, you know what I'm saying, coverage, offensive session, so I can show you what to look for, so you can bring back the intel. You know what I'm saying? Bring the intel back to the team. Right. You know what I'm saying? God forbid you be part of the coaching tree and I teach you kind of some X's and O's stuff and you know what to look for so you can bring it back to the show.
But here's the thing though, right? Like I didn't even like wait a while. I literally went in at 10 o'clock and got a ticket for the first day.
That's what's up.
I don't even know how. The crazy thing is, I think a lot of that has to do with Hard Knocks being there, because Hard Knocks has a lot of equipment, and there's already not enough space at camp as it is.
Right. So they limited. At least
they probably limited the amount of tickets they usually give out anyway.
So I can give you a small short list right now to things to look up. So I know you're gonna be paying attention, but I really want to pay attention specifically because I've been watching a narrative. And we're going to get into that a little bit on the show. I want to look at I want you to check and see if Caleb is on the wristband or not.
That's important. He already wears one. He wore one during camp.
They've been using it. I want to know how much. I want to see how much they're using it, because we're gonna talk about it a little bit in the show. I'm gonna tell you why that's important from an offensive coordinator standpoint, and what I believe is probably will be his biggest challenge throughout the season and why it's an issue and why I'm tracking that. So definitely look out that for me. Like if he's looking down every play, you know what I'm saying? He's looking down for every play, then he's getting the play off the wristband. But if you go through offensive play operations, you got to get the play, recite the play, get to the line of scrimmage, offensive line, call out the protections. He has to make the protection adjustment, which I've already heard that he's asking the questions about the protections anyway. So that's a great sign. You have your quarterback asking the question, why are we blocking this way? Doesn't this guy have that guy? Or doesn't this guy? That's a great sign. But going through those normal game operations or play operations is important to me, because to me, that's the most difficult part of his learning curve throughout the season. Go ahead, Julius.
No, I was gonna say, I mean, I know we talked about the how we wanted to go, but you talking about it now, that's part of what Keyshawn was talking about in that video. What you talking about?
Yeah. We're gonna get into that in a minute. What's the next clip real fast? Let's start sliding through these. Yeah. Move the program along. I know we're excited. So the schedule, y'all see the schedule. We open up with Tennessee, then the Houston. I think the Tennessee game, the Tennessee games at home. Yeah. Houston, which by the way, I might be the games I'm looking at going to are Houston, DC, and a home game. I haven't picked that one out yet. But on the road to Houston, on the road to Indianapolis.
I'll be at that Indy game, bro.
I might go to the Indy game too.
I'm going to that one.
At home with LA, at home with Carolina. The big trip across the pond to play the Jaguars, London. Which I don't know. I'm not on that one this year. I've been to London. I was London 2022. I'm not overly excited to go back. Welcome to the program, Bishop. And then we're going to get to him in a second.
Yeah, we'll get to you in a second. Yeah.
Hey, on the road to Washington, on the road to Arizona, at home against New England, Green Bay, Minnesota. That's when we start kind of the home, the push right there. Minnesota, on the road, Detroit, on the road, San Francisco, which is going to be an interesting game for me. I love Kyle Shanahan. Everybody knows how I feel about Kyle. Minnesota, home Detroit, home Seattle, and then TBD with Green Bay. Y'all give me y'all record predictions. I'll start with Bishop and welcome him to the program. You got to jump in both feet. Giving us your prediction for the season.
I'm jealous. I like this setup, Bishop.
Oh, no, appreciate it. Y'all
Daddy Warbucks over there. That's what he got.
Man, for real.
So this couch right here is a new addition. That's a 3-man job I did by myself, and I was wiped for like the rest of the day. So, that's you can't see it. I have a Walter Payton jersey hanging up right there. I got a Walter Payton poster in the corner. I got the White Sox championship poster.
White Sox, beautiful.
The newspaper article like framed up and everything. So like I don't have it like Coach T has. I'll have that soon. But right now, just about the framework and everything.
No, it's sweet, man. We like it.
I like it.
Oh no, it's dope.
So give us that.
Go ahead.
Give us that record prediction. What?
Prediction? Let me see. Can we pull up the record one more time?
Pull up the schedule.
The schedule one more time because I'm gonna explain why I think I.
Hold on, is it showing?
All right, so
it keep jumping down.
I don't know where it keeps
there you
going.
go.
All right, so I'll say week 1, that's a W. Week 2, I think we lose that one. Week 3, that's gonna be a close win. Anthony Richardson, I don't think anybody should be sleeping on him. That man's a stud. Week 4, I'll give that to us because our defense has shut down the LA offense one time before. Week 5, that's a dub. Week 6, that's a dub. I would say Washington. Because Jaden Daniels is going to be good. I'm not going to lie. But Washington, I think that's going to be a win. So where are we at? We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're at 6-1 right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Carolina, Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm not too worried about the Arizona offense. The Arizona's defense. So I think that I think we won that. I think the Patriots, that's going to be an interesting game. I'll say that's the one that we dropped. So we're at what, 7-2 now? Green Bay, I think we lose the first meeting. So that's 7-3. Vikings, we win. That's 8-3. Lions, we lose the first meeting. So that's 8-4. San Francisco, we lose. That's 8-5. Vikings, we win. We sweep the Vikings. That's 9-5. We beat Detroit in a close game. That's 10-5. Seattle. Seattle. Hey, we split. I did that for you, AJ. Seattle. Who's Seattle's quarterback right now?
Geno Smith.
Geno.
But they still run. Who's their offensive coordinator? Do we know?
Isn't it the dude from Washington?
Yeah, I think so.
It's the Grubbs or whatever. What's that dude's name? Grubbs.
Okay.
I have no clue. Y'all all over the league.
It's the dude from Washington.
They do a lot of play action. They do a lot of play action, short intermediate passing, and that really messes with the Bears' defense. I don't know why they can't.
But that's also Geno's bread and butter too.
Yeah.
So.
I think we lose that game. And then I'll say we beat the Packers in our closer. So that leaves us what's that like 11
10-7.
10-7, yeah. So that's my record prediction.
All right.
Can I go next?
Go, AJ. She's chomping at the bit.
Okay.
Okay, let me put it back up. I'm sorry.
For starters, right? I've talked about this. I really actually don't even have expectations like that. But for the sake of this, right? For the sake of this, here we go. Tennessee, people are sleeping on. That's an L. Houston's an L. Indy's an L. The Rams an L. They beat Carolina. They beat Jacksonville. They'll beat Washington. I don't give them Arizona. They'll beat New England, lose to Green Bay. They'll beat Minnesota, lose to Detroit, lose to San Francisco. Beat Minnesota, lose to Detroit, lose to Seattle, and lose to Green Bay. That puts me at about 7-10, 8.
So
make me sick to myself.
So 6 to 7 wins, AJ. Bring the schedule down. I gotta see your face on this one.
Like here's why though, right? I think week one's a trap game. Everyone assumes we're just gonna win that game, right? Like that's a trap game, right?
Yeah.
They just picked up Jamal Adams. They got L'Jarius Sneed. Like they still got what's that dude's name? The defensive tackle whose name's escaping me. Jeffrey Simmons. They still got him. Like their defense is still decent. They fixed the offensive line. Will Levis didn't look terrible last year. Like he wasn't great, but he wasn't terrible. He actually had some good games. Like, and they just got Calvin Ridley and DeAndre Hopkins and Tyler Boyd. Like, come on now. Houston is Houston. We already know this. Indy always plays well at home, which is why I have us losing that game. They play well at home. Plus, I think people are sleeping on Indy. Who was week 4 again? I forget. The Rams or something. Might have been the Rams.
Rams. Yeah.
The Rams. They got Sean McVay. He's a good coach. People are sleeping on the Rams. Carolina, that's an easy dub. Carolina sucks. They're ass cheeks. Jacksonville, I don't believe in Jacksonville. Good for them for paying Trevor Lawrence all that money. He got overpaid. Then a bye week, you can never lose a bye week. That's an automatic win right there.
I think we lost a bye week in 2022.
We did actually. We did actually. Now Washington, I think Jay Daniels will be good, but they're not that good of a team. The Cardinals, if Kyler Murray can stay healthy the whole season, and it's in Arizona, I expect them to win that. New England's going to be trash. We probably see Drake May by that point. Green Bay, until we beat Green Bay, I'm never picking the Bears. That's just by default. Minnesota sucks. We probably see J.J. McCarthy by then. Detroit, come on now. They'll probably win the division. San Francisco went to the Super Bowl, so we definitely ain't beating them. Again, Minnesota will probably see J.J. again. He stinks. Detroit, again, they got Super Bowl aspirations. We don't. Seattle, Geno hasn't been terrible. He's actually been decent for them. Right, and I just did look it up. It actually is Grubbs from Washington, so I actually like that offense for Geno. And then again, until we beat Green Bay, I'm never picking the Bears to beat Green Bay. So
there you go. There you have it, folks. And I think
I do have to preface this by saying I actually don't have expectations. I don't really care what their record is, as long as Caleb is doing what he needs to do. I'm fine.
I gotta bring our boy up. Welcome to the new season, Don
Come
Burr.
on,
Oh
Don.
God!
Don't do
Don
this, Don.
Burr.
Hey,
Oh
me and
my
you hitting at
God!
the same time.
Don Burr.
I had to do that. I had to bring him up. Welcome to the season, Don Burr.
Why would you bring him? Why would you bring him in here?
Because he's welcome. He's welcome to.
Hey. Me and Coach T be thinking a lot.
Get Don Burr out of here.
Yeah.
It's so funny, man.
Hey,
we were both hitting the button at the same time.
Yeah. We want to bring Don. Don, guess what? We don't like you sometimes, but you're welcome here. We just don't like you.
Sick, Don.
We just don't like you because y'all won a division right now. It's not personal, man.
Don out here acting crazy, dog. He said I'm realistic.
You trigger a nerve sometimes, but
dog. You know what it is, Don? I like to tickle ivories. I like to piss people off. So if I'm not doing that, I'm not happy as a person.
AJ got a propaganda.
I almost wanted to say 0-17 just to get Jay Targaryen riled up. But you know what? I'm like, you know what? I'll give him a saving grace. I'll make.
This is what AJ does. She dips her hand in the gas when
like people don't get it. This is what I do. I do this to mess with people because it's so easy and fun.
Okay? So on that note, we're gonna get Mr. Jay Targaryen's prediction. I think this is gonna be.
Say it right now. 17.
Interesting. Let's cue it up for Jay.
Okay. So Elise, I do agree with you. Tennessee is a trap game.
It's a trap game.
That could be a game where we lose by 15 plus. More
than
2 scores.
I wouldn't go that far. Calm down.
I would because remember Caleb's still in the infancy of his playing career and he is the day one starter. So Tennessee, Houston, those are out of the question. Those are 2 quick L's, especially with C.J. Stroud's quarterback success rate and being through the roof. That's a defensive nightmare because if you're a defensive coordinator, you're not in too many favorable third down counts. So you won't really have any leverage against them. So that's 2 quick L's. I think we destroy Indianapolis.
I don't know about that one.
The only reason why I say we lose to the Rams week 4 is because we're catching Sean McVay in the beginning of the season. If this was like week 11, I would probably give us a chance because Caleb will be a little bit more seasoned. But you're matching wits with probably one of the best coaches of the decade. It's not a good recipe, especially with a new situation. Nope. Carolina's going to get curb stomped. Jacksonville's going to get curb stomped across the pond. I think we win the bye week, probably by 3, probably by a field goal or something. Commanders getting curb stomped. Cardinals curb stomped. At least I think the Patriots get blown the fuck out on Lakeshore Drive. I feel like they probably they score only 13 points or something like that.
Yeah, we'll see Drake May by that point.
I feel like the Bears shocked Green Bay first time we meet. I think we punched them in the mouth because look, Elise, it's week 11.
I don't care. When's the last time we beat them? When's the last time we beat them?
I smoke a lot of weed. I don't remember.
Yeah,
a long time ago.
Exactly.
I was still in high school at that time.
Exactly. So was I.
We killed Minnesota. I think Detroit's taking an L. We're losing to San Francisco. Minnesota and Detroit lose again. So we beat them. I think not
sweeping Detroit. Time out.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
Y'all can take the schedule down because I want to make myself perfectly clear.
He's hey, put the camera on me.
The Bears are winning no less than 10 games this year. I got them capped out at 13.
They're not sweeping Detroit. You heard me. They're not sweeping Detroit. You heard me.
He's not capping, y'all. He hit us in the group thread this morning. Said
Y'all not finna hit me with the Elise temper your.
So Elise is like 7.
Rookie quarterback.
Justin's like 13.
No,
Bishop had 10, right?
All right.
10,
so
I think I had 8, but
you had 7.
7. You had 7.
So listen, y'all brought out something that y'all made me think of something that may change how I view this schedule and our win-loss schedule. So bring it up. Let me add this part to my prediction here, right? So for me,
Coach T, real quick before you go in.
All right.
Because there's a little insight. Will Levis, he's still on the Tennessee Titans, right?
Yeah.
Make sure. This man has changed up his whole throwing motion, this whole thing. Thank you to Coach Rob Williams. You guys can go follow him on QB Motion on Instagram. Will Levis has changed up his whole throwing motion. Same way Joe Burrow changed up his throwing motion, and after his rookie year, Will Levis is a different quarterback now. So I just want to throw that out there.
Good insight. Insight from Bishop,
the
resident QB, the resident QB on the team. That's what Bishop's going to bring to the show this year. I mean, I appreciate that insight, and that's one of the things we're going to lean on to him for. Hey, by the way, so getting back into the schedule thing, right? Y'all made me think of something, right? And how I want to look at this, maybe differently than what I was looking at it before. To me, the schedule, especially early on, is all predicated on Matt Eberflus and his defense being able to shut people out, right? Who can we run the ball against and play great defense against and get away with the dub? Yes, Tennessee is a trap game, but ask the question, can we play great defense against Tennessee? Like, is Tennessee going to come out and light us up offensively? Will Matt Eberflus be able to devise a game plan to stop Tennessee and pull out that game? I'll say yes and call it a squeaker. Week 2, no. Week 3, yes. LA, no. Carolina, yes. The biggest maybe is going to be London, right? I don't know who the OC is down at Jacksonville. Oh, no, it's the head coach. So I'm going to give that one. Doug Peterson. Can Doug Peterson out-scheme Matt Eberflus and our defense?
Yes.
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. Washington, I say Flus can get him. Arizona, I'll say Flus can get him. I'll say Patriots, Flus can get him. Green Bay, no. Denver, yes.
You mean Minnesota?
Minnesota, I'm sorry, I said Denver. Minnesota, yes. Detroit, yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Hold on. Stop. Remember, listen. Remember the take. Remember where this is coming from. It's a matter of, does Matt Eberflus have the offensive coordinator's Ben Johnson's number? And he does. He had his number for 2 games last season, the one I was at and the one I wasn't at.
But the Lions have Shane Waldron's number, so what are we doing? Stop it. Stop.
No. Shane beat the shit out of the
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. He beat them in Seattle. He beat them in Seattle.
In Seattle, but not in Detroit.
No. What I'm saying is he ran the ball all over them when Seattle played Detroit last season.
Didn't they beat y'all in overtime last year?
He bullied.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I broke that game down. He bullied the hell out of Detroit. Shane did through the run game. So through the run game,
with that rookie running back they had.
With the rookie running back, I broke that game down.
That was
he beat the hell out of him. So
last year,
I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm giving us both Detroit games.
Kenneth Walker's in his 3rd year, I think, 3rd or 4th.
Hold on, let me finish. So let me finish. San Francisco, hell no. Minnesota, yes. So I'm giving us both Detroit and Minnesota games. But I'm also taking both Green Bays away from you. So
that's still right. That's crazy as hell.
Seattle, yes. So I have us at about 10 or 11 wins. So somewhere in between Elise and Jay.
No. See, I'm gonna come back when they don't beat Detroit at all this year. I'm gonna come back clowning and acting a damn.
Never. You'll be placed on waivers.
I'm gonna act a damn fool, bro.
I don't know if y'all can see it. No,
it's blurring it up.
I'm gonna act a damn fool. Okay.
They beat y'all last year at home.
Last year, yeah.
So we got it on record. Elise is gonna come back and act a fool on it. So it's easier for the fan. It's easier for the chat to remember. Elise is on the low end of 6 or 7 wins. I'm in the middle. How many did you have, Bishop?
I had 10.
Me and Bishop around the same at around 10. And Jay has got us going to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. Everybody, once we drafted Caleb,
hey, do me a favor, run those likes up in the chat. I don't know how many likes we got. I don't know how many all that stuff. I don't know how many people.
I'm not gonna lie. If I end up being the closest, I'm really just gonna clown. Because that's what I do. I'm a clown.
You gonna clown anyway? So it's my
favorite person back.
It's asking too much for you to just, you know what I'm saying, take your win. Hey, Julius, what we're gonna do is get her a little. We'll order a little. I'll order a little trophy.
A Motown trophy.
What's the next topic we got up there, Julius? The maestro producer. I ain't gonna call it. So the super producer is already taken. So he's the maestro. What topic we got on the list?
Before we go in there, I'm saying Houston gonna destroy us on Sunday Night Football.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Because I didn't go, but Houston's gonna destroy us.
Bro, we finna get mollywopped.
I'm almost hating that's the game I'm going to, and I know I'm predicting us to lose.
Bro,
let me tell y'all why. Because CJ Stroud is not. He gonna take the game personal.
Yes, he is.
If y'all didn't know, he's been saying a whole bunch. He is gonna take it personal, and he's gonna try to embarrass the shit out of the Bears on Sunday Night Football.
That is true, because he's gonna try and show up for his boy.
He's gonna try to run the score up and all that. They are gonna try to.
He gonna take that game.
Julie said they're gonna try to run the score up.
Bro, they're gonna try to run the score. I'm telling you right now. He does, bro. He is okay. Watch. Y'all remember this?
No, I'm rocking with you on this. I feel you.
He got that game circled. He got that game. I promise you, he got
guarantee
that game circled,
he does, bro. He gonna do like, remember Mahomes? Remember when they came to Soldier Field and everybody's like, "What are you gonna do when he score?" And he made sure.
Don said, "Y'all, we big on Houston, but not Detroit." It's because we got y'all number, man. I don't want to belay this topic more, but it's because we got y'all number. We had y'all number. We should have beat y'all twice last year.
Donber, they're gonna be crying again when Detroit wins the division again, and
it's no way we should have won last.
I got a three-part question for Elise real quick. Elise, do you feel like our roster got better over this offseason?
Not at quarterback, no, I don't.
Okay, but overall, everywhere else.
Hold on a second. Pause.
You don't think so?
She don't feel like we got better.
Let's rewind it back. Let's rewind it back because I feel that smile at the end of that answer, just like you messing with me. So
I am. You know it.
So it's hard to tell over the phone. It's easy to tell on camera. Did our roster get better? Yes or no?
I'll say kind of.
Okay. Would you say that we have one of the easier schedules? Not the easiest situation because our division games don't come till later. But do you see we have one of the top 3 easiest schedules in the league right now?
No, because we had. Hold up. Here's why though. Because when we started off in 2022, we had a top 5 easy schedule, and it ended up being harder than it was.
It did.
Because we had a kick returner at quarterback.
So
stop.
So
I'm sorry,
okay.
Julian. I'm part of the fucking
then there's no point in my third question.
That's funny, bro. No, good. That's good. That's a good. That was a nice shot there, right there.
Anyway, what's your third question?
Well, no, that's my third question because like, would you believe in that? My third question was, with a better roster and a somewhat easy schedule, like based on NFL Network, ESPN, and all that stuff, top 3, would that mean we yield the same results, which you said is like 7-10, or will we do, marginally better than last year?
The max I'll go is 9. That's it, but I'm not going higher than that.
I'll take that.
Trying to figure out what his easy schedule is.
So here's the thing, right? Like, we don't, and this isn't even necessarily a knock or anything. We don't know how Caleb's gonna be, right? Like, we can all go in assuming that it's just gonna work out for the Bears and they have this magical season, and we're all bowing down at the feet of Ryan Poles, right? That's what we could be doing. That's what we all assume is gonna happen, but we don't, right? Knock on wood, God forbid something happens to Caleb Williams, and then there's our season right there anyway, right? Or let's say Caleb's not the guy we expected him to be, and then we're not the team we're expected to be, right? Like, I'm just of the mindset, I don't want to do that. Like, I just don't want to give that kind of pressure to a rookie quarterback who has yet to play a snap in the NFL.
All himself.
Didn't take
I mean,
snaps.
he was only drafted
Wait,
first
hold
overall.
on. didn't take snaps under center in college, so he's had to work overtime since then to do so. Right? Like, there's just a lot of factors that play into this, right?
Let's
Like,
get into that. I want to move the
like,
program
and
along.
Okay.
here's the thing,
Yeah,
right? There were a lot of games last year. Yeah, you could blame whoever you want. That's between you and whoever else behind closed doors, right?
Between you and the
But a
wall.
lot of times I feel like there were times Matt Eberflus didn't have good clock management or awareness of what was going on when the opposing offense was on the field. So there was factors that played into that. So if Matt Eberflus can clean up some things as well as a coach, then maybe, right? But that has yet to be seen, and until I see it, I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Now everyone else, like Caleb and all the other like players on the team, yeah, they'll get the benefit of the doubt. But someone like Matt Eberflus, yeah, no, he's not getting the benefit of the
I
doubt.
just want to add this, Elise. Since we're on Matt Eberflus, I think the Bears shitted a lot of games away because Eberflus chose to have a rotation on the defensive line in
Thank
the
you.
fourth
See,
quarter.
that's what things like
That's what
that.
we're
That's
going to
what I'm
talk. We're
saying.
going to talk about
Like
that.
Matt Eberflus
We're dropping defensive
has
tackles
got
in
a
the zone.
lot of he's got a
Exactly.
lot of pressure on himself this season, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
this a big season for Matt Eberflus. To me, in my opinion, he's on the hot seat, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. We're going to get into some of that
Yeah.
even more because we got plenty of more topics lined up.
All right.
The Bears, go ahead, throw it up, Julius. The Bears have been selected for Hard Knocks, which I'm a huge fan of the show. I watch Hard Knocks anyway, regardless,
Facts.
regardless of what happens. Does this help or hurt the situation in Chicago? Rookie quarterback, bringing attention, eyes on the program. What are you guys thinking about Hard Knocks? I want to go. Go ahead, Elise.
All right, so I think it's a positive and a negative, right? So I think it's a positive in the sense that like it allows Bears fans to get more of a like in-depth like look at the team because like the Bears don't really like to put themselves on the spotlight unless it's like 1920 football drive, and even then it's very 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 little, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
think it'll be good for the fans. I think the negative is like, yeah, we could say that like it's good for the fans, but like if it doesn't work out right and Hard Knocks is a part of that, right? Like you'll look back on the season like, maybe we shouldn't have done Hard Knocks because it added undue pressure that we didn't need, blah blah blah, right? Because like you think about it, right? If Caleb let's say Caleb has a bad day at camp, right? That's gonna be magnified by 10,000 just because it's on Hard Knocks, right? And we already know how these fans freak out if it's like one bad day. Like we saw what happened when he had a bad day in OTAs. The sky was falling, and I'm like, y'all gotta calm down. Like he'll be fine, right? But no, people freaked out anyway. So I think there's pros and cons to both.
Go ahead, Bishop.
I see it as all pro because I mean, of course, there's always going to be a con, but the cons are so minimal to me in this situation. Like we know that the NFL is about media presence, about marketing, about brand, so that could be a global sport. When you have what the Bears have done, which is honestly you can look at it as being historic when like pairing a top 10, two top 10 picks, a quarterback and a wide receiver. When was the last time that happened? Caleb comes from that type of the big media presence. He comes from that as his background from his years in LA. So I don't think it's gonna bug him. My thing is it's a great way to get people to buy into the Bears. I'll use my wife for example, right? She was a huge Khalil Mack fan. She was a huge Demo fan. She was a Justin Fields fan and all that stuff. And of course, those people are here, right? But I explain it as HBO's Hard Knocks is really a look in on the players, right? It allows you to bond in with kind of like see what goes on and allows you to buy in to a team more so as far as the players as their character, and it also gives like different storylines. It gives you a way to it gives you a way. Is my mic coming in?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, no, I was saying it sounds like it may be using your computer mic. I have that issue every once in a while. Just check the settings when you take a break. When you got a break, don't do it now.
Yeah. I would say my biggest thing is with it's just a great way to I see where it is. Okay.
There you go.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah,
it's a much better way to get people to buy into the team. Like when we saw what was with Detroit Lions last year, a lot of people,
2 years ago,
America really 2 years ago. But
Yeah.
even with that, a lot of people, America, I would say, bought into the Detroit Lions because of Hard Knocks, right? They saw going back in the day.
That's a great point.
Like when you think of Deuce Staley as their running backs coach, Deuce Staley was one of my favorite running backs coming into the league at the time. They got a lot of people grew up watching my age and everything and seeing how they're translating their knowledge to these new players. We saw how that happened. We saw the success that Detroit brought. This does a positive in where it's like, again, it gets people like my wife to buy into the new Bears players that she doesn't know. She still loves the team, but she wants to know who's on the roster. Secondly, for the training camp situation, for the fans that didn't get a chance to get their tickets because of whatever powers may be, this is a replacement for that. Because you can go to the stands. I went to the training camp session last year. You can go to the stands. You can be there to watch the practices, the drills, and everything. You're not really understanding what you're seeing. Like, you're just there as a spectator. Unless you're paid to be there, or media presence, or you're just a football guy, the average fan is not understanding what they're seeing. They just see players, right? And they're there for autographs. Hard Knocks allows you to see purpose and reasonings behind certain things. Give you something to root for, give you players to root for, different like real time storylines. HBO does a great job with their production, with making sure that one, they're producing. Like I said, Bears need to build a brand for themselves. They're still monsters of the Midway, and that's eons ago. Like that left once we separated Brian Urlacher, Hunter Hellemeyer, and Lance Briggs. That was done, and Charles Summon. So the Bears needed a new rebranding. I think bringing in Caleb, doing what he's doing, he's experienced with that. He's, like he said, I'm not just a businessman, I'm a businessman. So he's bringing that other avenue to the Bears organization as a rebrand. So I think this is the perfect time to do something like Hard Knocks, because the Bears are, or hopefully will be, turning a corner from this point going forward.
I agree 1,000%, Bishop. If you look at the Bears as a whole, we are a historic but conservative franchise, very archaic, and we've been the same for almost it's going on over 100 years now. And when we made the picks for Caleb and Rome, that was the rebranding. That was the new generation. And with Hard Knocks, you get to see the social aspects of football in individual players. I'm gonna give you a prime example. The Bears are benefiting from having Hard Knocks with Caleb on the team rather than Justin, because he is a little bit he's an introvert. There's not a lot of social aspects to him. Not to say he's bad character or anything, but Caleb is more camera friendly, and you now bringing in Roma Dunze. Now you have guys like Booker, who we talked about. You get to see new heroes, not just the guys that we talk about every day. And like you said before, a lot of people don't understand how hard football is, how frustrating it is, not just going into Sunday, but your walkthroughs, your meetings. Hey, remember that the video that they were showing with the quarterbacks and the wide receivers going over the plays and stuff, where Caleb's looking at the fucking TV like his favorite show just came on, because he knew the rhetoric that he had to articulate. He knew the audience he was talking to. That's the beauty of Hard Knocks, is it's not just for the football fans. It's for people. It's actually a show. So now you're putting athletes in a position to be entertaining, to show their personality, not just being, how could I say, morally and politically correct in front of the microphone. No, I'm seeing what you're thinking. I know how you feel. I know now. I understand how you handle adversity, because Hard Knocks gave me a peek. That's all the little things that help get fans up to date, instead of just worrying about box scores, wins, loss, QBR. There's actually a lot of different stuff that go into just getting ready for preseason. Like, this is what I want to watch. I want to see how they are preparing Caleb Williams to win me my fucking Super Bowl. It's great.
Hey, calm down. Calm down.
You heard that?
Go ahead,
Calm down.
Go ahead, Julius. I'm interested in seeing what you think about that situation.
I know I told y'all this. I've never watched Hard Knocks. Honestly, I've never really. I don't know. I didn't ever had to want to watch the show. Honestly, never cared to watch the show. Y'all know I love basketball. Is my first love. It always has been, always will be. So basketball.
Hey, so we skipping right past you. No, I'm just playing.
No, but I mean, I'll watch it. I'm gonna watch it obviously because it's gonna help, with what we talking about in the show. So I gotta watch it just because of that. But if I wasn't doing these podcasts, I wouldn't watch it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm dead serious with y'all. I probably wouldn't watch it. I'll ask Elise to tell me what she saw or one of y'all, but I'm not gonna watch it. And it's not, and I understand why the Bears are doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all talked about Justin. Yes, Justin, y'all made a correct statement. Justin Fields is an introvert, except for when you're close to him. When you're close to him, you see how he's cool. And I understand that. Like, he ain't just finna just do nothing. Like, that's just not him. He's not finna be in your face.
He ain't go along, get along.
And so all these things just happen. He just got caught in a transition for the organization, right? So had he came along this year, it'd probably be different for him, but he came along in transition. You got Kevin Warren, and a lot of people ain't talking about Kevin Warren. He has completely changed this franchise in 2 years.
Amen.
And everybody keeps acting like it's all Ryan Poles. Yeah, Ryan Poles has drafted a lot of players, but a lot of these moves is Kevin Warren.
Yeah, I would say probably Kevin Warren is probably at the head of making the decision to allow Hardnecks to come in the building. So
I agree with that. I guarantee he probably went to George and he sold him and told him, hey, we need to do this. Because y'all really think George really gave in that easy?
No.
He don't give a damn. They drafted Caleb and Rome. He don't care.
I can tell you right now, Julius, this, they held George accountable for what he said. He says, look, I am going to stand back. I'm going to be a fan. I'm not going to hold nothing. But when he tried to make a decision, they're like, wait, hold on. You said you was going to be
a fan.
Right.
He probably did, but at the
sit your ass in the corner.
Right.
In the backseat of his own car.
Checks, though. He's still signing them checks. So he can say
right. At the end of the day, he's signing them checks,
Doug. Go ahead. No, I was going to say, so I'm anxious to kind of give my take on this part of it, right? And I agree with most of everything y'all said. I think going back to, what we talked about a pre-prod at the beginning of the show is this. This is probably going to be one of the most interesting and entertaining seasons of Bears football to cover as a journalist ever. And this part of it makes it it takes it to another level for a number of reasons. I want to
real quick for Don.
Go ahead.
The Bears have turned it down like 3 times, so that's incorrect. Yes, they've turned it down. He has turned it down.
Yes,
he has turned it down. Oh, I don't know why it keeps going down. Sorry. He has turned it down like 3 times.
Yeah.
So,
yes, he has.
That statement is incorrect. He has turned it down. They have to the NFL basically. Roger Goodell, I think he made a statement about it, and they basically had to convince this dude this time that Hard Knocks is your thing. I'm sorry, T, but I just had to say
he's been cutting the NFL a check for like 3 years, 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, for real. Listen,
no, we're not ignoring you, bro. Listen, we just talking.
Listen, so here's the thing. I want to make mention of something that y'all made reference to with the Justin Fields part and the take of it. I will say this because my wife is a, you know what I'm saying, she's a creative, former singer, entertainer, and she always talks about the ism, right? Having the ism, the it factor, if you will. And one thing that I can say, and it's personality driven, not character. Those are 2 totally different things. It's not a personality, it's not a character thing, it's personality driven. The one thing I can say is for what the Bears may need, personality wise, this is going to be a good thing because personality wise, Caleb is entertaining. Now, remove X's and O's from it, remove win-loss records, the possibility of winning, losses, arm strength, arm talent, whether he came from an air raid system or pro system, all that from it. Pure entertainment. And y'all know the age and day we're living in. Of course, you know what I'm saying? I'm learning the YouTube show business, all that stuff, right? from a pure entertainment. Like, for example, if I got on here and I just broke down tape, and this is part of the reason why you guys are here. If I got on here and I broke down tape every show, that's even boring to me. You know what I'm saying? And I love doing it, but it's boring to me. I like to have different opinions. So in this whole game, right, there's a few niches you do, right, that I've learned over the last 3 years. Either you have a debate platform, you have a teaching educational platform, you can have a troll platform. You can do a number of things with this thing, right? At least it's me, right? I've learned the game. I've studied the game over the last 3 years, right? And Caleb is entertaining at the minimum. And watch this, might be controversial, but he's gonna be more interesting than Justin, personality wise. It's just more headlines. It's more to write about. And to this point, from a coverage standpoint, Hard Knocks, local media, DIY media, it's going to be a lot to talk about. It's going to be so much content. Now, take it another level. I'll shift from journalist to coach. There's so much, and y'all going to see that. Y'all going to see this when we get into these clips of the tape breakdown and reciting the play calls and stuff. There's so much that I see when I watch these shows, and to Bishop's point, that most people may not understand. When I hear a play call, right? When I hear coaches talking about something on the Hard Knocks show that it might escape the casual fan, I hear, my ears will pick up on it. That's why I watch the show. I'm like, oh yeah, they're running this. You know what I'm saying? They're running double the spread, right gun, XY over, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh yeah, this is what they're doing here. This is why I want to be at camp, because again, it allows me to come back and report, communicate to you guys, communicate to our audience what's actually happening, or what I hear, what I believe is happening, and what they're doing. So it's going to be great for content. So for us,
real quick, Coach,
media folks,
just a quick announcement. The news just broke with ESPN. I'm pretty sure somebody has already known, but it's a little unfortunate news, or very unfortunate news. Former wide receiver from the Ravens and Texans, Jacoby Jones, died today at the age of 40. He, for a little bit of content, they haven't released the reasoning, but just want to put that out there. Just prayers to his family, prayers to everybody that's associated with him, his friends. There's a little tidbit for those that don't know. Jacoby Jones, he was responsible for 3 of the Ravens touchdowns at the Super Bowl in 2013. Jacoby Jones, I grew up watching him. I saw him when he first got drafted. Watched him throughout his whole career. Jacoby Jones, you will definitely be missed. Rest in power, brother.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, rest up, Kobe.
Wow.
His family, prayers to the family, man.
Yeah, for real.
we losing a lot of people, man.
Yeah,
this year we lost a Minnesota rookie wide receiver. A few weeks ago, corner. Yeah. Due to car accident. I don't want to misreport on any of the things that's happening, but you know what I'm saying? Hey,
don't drink and drive. That's the best way I could put it.
That part of it is big, right? So, and I don't know a good way to transition back to the take other than, you know what I'm saying? Look out for each other, take care of each other. Hey, before we jump into the next segment, I definitely want to Burlesmo point, get into the comments a little bit and make sure we shouting the supporters out. But yes, my take is on the whole. Hey, shout out to Jay Targaryen's cat.
Get your cat off the dang screen. Get your cat off the screen.
Cat butt. No, I think it's going to be very entertaining to cover. And for me, I'm excited again to listen and break out the details. You guys don't know how many times I held my remote at the New York Giants Hard Knocks and rewind it on the Jaden and Caleb parts of them speaking.
It was so great.
Just to break out details and understand, to listen what they were talking about as far as play call, coverages, all this other stuff, and the difference in how Hard Knocks approached it versus how they did with Caleb. We're gonna get into that in a little bit. Let's get some of these comments in. Okay. Julius, I want to make sure we include in the audience the chat in the show for sure.
So while we're doing that real quick, I do have to bounce out. I have some spiritual obligations I have to partake with this morning with the family. So
for sure.
You know, I am on the West Coast. I am 2 hours behind some of y'all. So but I appreciate the show. I'm glad that we are back, and I look forward to seeing you guys next weekend. And I'll see all y'all in my comments and my mentions, and of course our group chat. So you guys have a good one. Okay.
Bear down, Bishop.
Bear down.
The Bishop, folks, ladies and gentlemen.
Bishop.
Yeah.
Cornelius says, listen, the dream scenario, and this is why I say you gotta watch the storylines, because the storylines are amazing. This is going to be so entertaining. If this were to happen, not this year necessarily, but say next year, say the Bears do go to the Super Bowl, which I'm hoping. I'm a Bears fan. I want them to go to the Super Bowl, but say that they do go. Who would I dream of the Bears facing in the Super Bowl? I would dream of them facing the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Super Bowl versus Justin Fields. I would want to see it.
Dog.
Pure entertainment. The ratings, the storylines. Again, we got to think about it more than just football. It's the drama. It's Game of Thrones all over again. It's House of Dragons all over again. What? You're not a Games of Thrones fan. What say you, Jay Tarbarian, about?
And like the storyline. We just did a whole segment on Hard Knocks. Continue the storyline. Like, you got to think. Everybody knows the situation
pull up a new one.
with Justin Fields in the Chicago Bears, right? But look at the franchise he went to. The Steelers don't tolerate losing on any level as a person or a player. So there very well could be a situation to where the Steelers drag Justin Fields to the postseason, right? Like, think about it. Don't get me wrong. The Bengals, the Ravens, and the Browns are all better teams than the Steelers, right? But throughout everybody's life, you're crazy. Throughout.
When is Deshaun Watson ever going back to Deshaun Watson for since he's left Houston?
It doesn't matter. Nick Chubb will be healthy, and you still have an 8.
Hold on, man. That Cleveland defense is raw.
Come on. Literally, they had a terrible secondary, and the secondary.
Bro, Mike Tomlin dragged ass to the postseason last year.
That's my point.
3 of them 14s got really good defenses, man.
That's
right.
That's
and
my
he was
point.
5-1 in the division last year. He was 5-1.
Look, let me tell you.
And Pittsburgh signed Patrick Queen, so
Stop, bro.
All right.
Yeah, no, look, check it out. Everybody, our life, we've seen the Pittsburgh Steelers fuck around and find a way into a wild card berth. Always, they've been in the hunt for the last 50 years. Like, think about that. Like, we could very well see a Super Bowl with the Steelers in there.
We definitely could.
Justin Fields on the roster.
Justin is going to be playing, bro. Tell y'all.
I mean, hey, let's do this real.
Touchdown,
no,
catch a touchdown.
You're out of your mind. Get him out of here.
You spoke some good stuff last night. B. Bill said,
"You on crack, dog."
B. Bill said, "Hey, he gonna be at the Texas game. What games are you guys planning to go to, if any? I know me and Julia slated to team up and go to a game. We have to add y'all to that.
You already know I'm going to both Bears-Lions games. Not even a question. Okay." Like, I'm going to both of those. You already know that.
I think I'm on the docket.
And then, I'm going to the
Indianapolis, DC. You said DC, Jay? For sure. I might be at DC game.
I'm going to the Colts Bears game, week 3.
We haven't picked which game we're going to yet. The home game yet, Julius.
We haven't talked about it.
I need to get a fall weather game in. I don't want to do too cold for the home game, but I do like a fall joint.
They play Detroit at Soldier Field, week 14? That's finna be
if I'm paying for a ticket, I'm not sitting out in the cold. I'm telling you.
Gotta bring Berlismo's comment up. We got a better chance of Drake and Kendrick playing Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah.
Steelers making it this year to the show.
We didn't play
show.
This year.
Drake and Kendrick are very popular in the United States.
Hey, but check this out though. Hey, as far as them getting to the playoffs, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it's
All
like
right,
that.
man. Yeah, hey, okay.
Until Mike Tomlin doesn't make the play, it's like the Bears or the Packers. Until Mike Tomlin stops making the playoffs, bro, I'm
What
not counting that dude
Oh,
out.
so
You're out of your
okay,
rabbit
so
ass mind.
and I don't want to stay on this because we got to move on the show. But me and Elise talked
Yeah.
about this the other day when we had a little space. Y'all got to remember the Steelers, like she said, they got drugged to the playoffs by 3 sorry
Bro, sorry ass, bro. Like,
and
bro,
Russ and Justin are better than all 3 of them
bro,
dudes. they
Russ
had.
and Justin doubled their touchdown total last year by themselves.
Watch this though. Let me ask y'all this, right?
What?
Let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask y'all a question. Because I know what I think it is in my mind. What is it about Mike Tomlin that gets these average teams in the playoffs every year?
Pick me.
Go, Julius.
So he said it. Mike Tomlin enjoys teaching. He enjoys being a coach.
Yes.
So he don't just sit back and let his players just be like, "Oh, I ain't being coached or whatever." He don't run away from coaching, is what he said. I think
I got that clip in my phone yesterday. I meant to load it up to the queue for the show.
Run away from coaching. So that's what's different between him and other coaches. Like, that's what I'm saying. So people are like, "Oh, well, Justin this, Justin that." Let me tell y'all something. Mike Tomlin is also, just like most other head coaches, like Bill Belichick, all the real great ones all got an ego. So they're going to show you that I can coach. So he's looking at this like, okay, I got to the playoffs with barely any good offensive players. I got I got 2 guys better at QB, and I also added an all-pro linebacker to my team. You don't think they ain't going to be really good?
Right, come on, like, stop it.
No, I want to hear y'all's take on it because, again, in my mind, and Bear Leesmo nailed it. It's preparation.
Yes,
it's his preparation, but he coaches situational football. He pays attention to the details, and he coaches his players to play. They practice hard in Pittsburgh.
They actually
practice.
They practice how
they have
play.
difficult practices in Pittsburgh. I mean, you watch some of the coverage this offseason. I mean, the jokes are out there. Justin Fields returning kicks and all this other stuff, whatever. He has them actually. Every Chicago Bears fans, when Justin was here, complaining about his fumbling. Right? When did you see in any practice clips or anything that them drilling fumble drills in Chicago and making sure that the thing that's a weakness for you, that we drill it? You see it in Pittsburgh. They actually have him doing running back drills and taking shots, you know what I'm saying, to make sure he's doing ball security drills in Pittsburgh to make sure it doesn't happen. He coaches those guys to play hard, even if they're less talented than their opponents. He coaches them to play harder than their opponents. So you're going to get a NFC North kind of tough team every time in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I was just going to say, Mike Tomlin is the football equivalent of a baseball coach named Ron Washington, where they invest in people.
Right.
It's not like football isn't Mike Tomlin's job. It's his life. Like, you got to think, how many times have we thought as fans, oh, this Mike Tomlin last year? Like, oh, yeah, he up out of
every year. It happens every year.
No, it's not, because Pittsburgh would rather their coaches die than leave the team.
Right.
And Mike Tomlin has took on that. That's his DNA. If you look at, I just mentioned Ron Washington. Ron Washington is a 67-year-old man who practices infield with his young infielders. You know why? Because he's a teacher. That's what he do. That's his life. Like, when I grew up, my Uncle Darius, my mom's brother, he's a diehard Steelers fan. One of the first things of my sports development is knowing who was the Steel Curtain. History, tradition. That's everything Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin literally is the black helmet for the Steelers. Like, that's why he's so good. He's the immovable force in the organization. Absolutely. The backbone. That's why he's going to be successful forever.
Yeah, he's out there.
King Booker is killing this. Killing it in the comment. He said Fisher Price playbook we had working with.
Hey,
that's
funny.
Plays cool.
That's funny.
Fisher Price, King Booker is actually a chemist. That man,
it was damn etching sketch. What it was.
I feel like that's, and I was gonna say, I feel like that's what separates Matt Eberflus from like Mike Tomlin, right? Like Matt Eberflus ain't on the level of Mike Tomlin. Like, it's not even close. I don't care how much talent you have, bro. Like, what's the saying? Hard work beats talent when talent fails
Don't
to
work
work
hard.
hard.
Yep.
All that, like, that is a real quote. That's real, bro. Like, the Steelers never have really good teams, right? But they get there. Why? Because they work hard. Mike Tomlin gets his team just well enough to be like, all right, yeah, we're in this. We're still in this. Bro, they play in the toughest division in football.
This is
This
true.
man has his team ready every single week.
Listen, we're out in 15 minutes in and plenty to discuss. I know this is the welcome back show, so y'all hang in there with us. I want to get into this real fast. Cue it up real fast. Let's bring that lower third up.
I'll bring his comment up, then we're going to talk
about
it.
Yeah. Both draft picks still not signed. Oh, yeah. We definitely. So this is a good segue. Yeah, this is a good segue into the next topic anyway, because that's the next lower third we have.
They wanted a topic for Hard Knocks. They will sign them during Hard Knocks. No worries.
So, this is, I'm sorry. Let me move that comment. I apologize.
There you go. So why hasn't Caleb signed yet? At what point do we start to get concerned? Caleb Williams unsigned contract. I'll take it down, Julius. Let's go. At least you already went in. So
I'm not worried about. I'm not going to be worried at all because I know he's going to sign it at some point during training camp, right? Probably even like the day the rookies report. That's probably when he signs it, right? Same with Rome. Like, I'm just not worried about it because at the end of the day, like he said, his agents, his management team and stuff is going to handle that, right? He's just going to go out there, focus on playing ball, and this, that, and the third. It'll get done. No, it's nothing to worry about. I feel like people just want something to freak out about. I really think that this is what this is about. They want something to freak out about. There's nothing to freak out about.
I'm gonna mess up.
He'll probably just want his whole contract fully guaranteed, kind of like Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. That's really what it comes down to. Yeah. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna mess up the order a little bit and say, you know what I'm saying? It warrants a little bit of concern. I do believe they're gonna get it done, only because Caleb, the leverage, you gotta keep business wise, football wise. Caleb has very little leverage. They're throwing you out there as a starter. We know already you have some challenges with play call retention and stuff like that. The learning curve for him is steep, so he can't afford to miss practices. If he does, it's gonna be to the detriment of the success of his team. He can't afford to miss one practice. He needs to be out there every day, and we're going to get into why I'm saying that here in a little bit, because you know what I'm saying. If they're starting him out on the wristband, my concerns are warranted, and it's probably because, you know what I'm saying, all the terminology that goes into, and a lot of, I wish the mainstream media will stop generically saying cadence, right? It's not his cadence. That's the issue that he's having problems with. They don't have another word for it. So I'm gonna give it play. I'm gonna label it as the operations of a play, or play call, or play operations, right? That's the challenge. That's the learning curve for him. And I'm gonna get into depth in a minute and why that's the issue over probably the next few things that we discuss here. Go ahead, Julius.
No, I'm not worried about it. I just think that he's going to be a trendsetter. He didn't told it. It's like, y'all, he said something, people just act like he ain't said it. Like, he's trying to do something different. Like, he has very little wiggle room, but I guarantee he's going to add something in there that nobody else has.
Well, I want to make sure that we highlight this too, because this is going to be, and by the way, the team and we're going to be doing some college football coverage, talking about maybe the top games of the week and stuff like that on the shows on Sundays too, that, you know, just recapping some of the games that happened on Saturday night or Saturday. And we're probably spinning to a whole college football show, which I'm looking forward to doing at some point. But this is one thing that I want fans to pay attention to that's going to be different with these athletes coming out of college football, coming to the pros in the future. Caleb is already rich.
Facts.
I can't emphasize that enough. Caleb is already rich. When NIL came into play in college football, it changed the leverage of these athletes negotiating contracts in the NFL. Moving forward, the NFL is going to have to play ball differently with these players because they're coming into the game. The high-profile players are coming to the games pocket's already fat. So it's not a whole lot that you can put on the table. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to make more money in their last year in college, like Caleb, than they're making their first year in the NFL on their NFL rookie contract. So the whole position of holding out in certain cases, the leverage is on the player. He's like, hold on a second. The only thing that can force them on the field is their love and desire for the game and to be there for their teammates. When it comes to the finances, like, hey, man, I already got 10 mil sitting in the bank. So if from a pure negotiating standpoint, if you're trying to offer me whatever, if I don't like it, I got money in the bank. So I don't have to do what you want me to do.
I'm straight. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm straight. So it introduces a different dynamic into football moving forward. Real fast. Another thing, dynamic has changed through the NIL and the transfer portal is this. There's going to be a lot more quarterbacks coming into the league like Caleb Williams moving forward. That's going to have watch this. Y'all got more money, but y'all have less experience. Emphasize that enough. Y'all have more money and less experience. And what I mean by that is you got the big, say for example, the next Lincoln Riley quarterback that goes, he's got 3 out of the last 4 Heisman winners, if I'm not mistaken, right? The next guy that goes to Lincoln Riley plays in that system, 9 times 10 is going to win the Heisman because the system sets you up for success, right? But that system is not conducive for NFL football play, right?
Miller Moss for Heisman?
All these guys are going to a school for 1 year. They're throwing them in an air raid offense because it's instant grits, right? But it's not necessarily what you need to know for the NFL. So they're coming to the NFL less prepared, but more money. It's going to be a conflict of interest, something to keep our eye on as we cover college football moving forward. But I just wanted to call that out real fast. What you saying, Jay?
No, I just wanted to say I actually love Caleb Williams doing his due diligence with his first contract because it won't be the last time he puts pen to paper for the Chicago Bears. Like, if all goes well, he's going to have to sign more deals. Now, and Ryan Poles, Kevin Warren, everybody else, at least you know what type of animal you're negotiating with and you're bringing to the table, right? Because I'm going to tell you something. When Lucas Giolito, old White Sox pitcher, when he got drafted, he didn't sign the first deal that he waited. Him and Strasburg, they waited on their deals, rightfully so, because like we said earlier, I'm a businessman. So that means he's not worried about just the Chicago Bears as far as like their well-being. He's worried about Caleb Corp.
Right.
Real talk. And that's good right now to do that in the infancy of your career because a lot of young players aren't looking at themselves as a business.
Yeah. He should take care. He should take care of himself.
Look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady has been a business his entire NFL career.
Yeah, no doubt.
Tom Brady, he turned down so much money, but guess what? He turned into wins though.
Yeah. Yep. And he getting that revenue back because look at Tom Brady has been trying to retire for what 2-3 years, and look at how the game just gravity
keep pulling them back.
ESPN.
Every time I try to leave, something keeps pulling me back.
I'm about to look at right now. How much?
Hey, check this out. We're gonna transition. This is gonna be probably the interesting part of the show. I can't wait to get to this part. Caleb's learning curve. Where is he in his development? How far does he have to go? I couldn't wait to get here because, again, I alluded to it earlier. I was on Nomad Network, described this kind of in detail of what I thought the error. See, here's the thing, right? This is a normal thing, at least with me, right? As I pay attention to the media, mainstream media, and sometimes DIY media, right? The terminology sometimes get lost in the media. We use the wrong words and stuff like that describes, right? So a cadence, when they start talking about challenges Caleb was having with his cadence at camp, I don't think your cadence is just, you go up and there are, teams will have about 4 or 5 different cadence. And that's just the sequence of calling what out that you have to call out, right? And how you call it, how you inflict your voice, right? But to me, a greater challenge is doing, and I'll take it over from here, Julius, just for continuity, the harder part, the harder challenge in play operations or as an offensive coordinator, getting your quarterback to do is this part right here. And I want to emphasize this because it's not the cadence, it's the play call, it's the play operations. And I want to emphasize this is the exactly this I wanted to show that because the season off season was going on and different football clips come across. I'm like, man, this would be great for the show because this describes exactly what I believe the mainstream media are trying to say what the challenge is. And the reason why that's a challenge goes along with the next clip I'm going to show you, because if you understand pro style offense, air raid offense, all that terminology does not go into an air raid offense. Air raid offense is like this. It's probably 3 or 4 words. It's probably 86 rocket, right? 86 rocket. You know what I'm saying? 88 rocket or 8 slide. You know what I'm saying? It's 2 or 3 words. That expansive terminology is what I was saying in the offseason is what Jaden Daniels has already done. It was already built into the LSU offense. So my whole take in the offseason was, hey, I want to keep Justin because, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be a steeper learning curve for Caleb to learn how to do that, at least a little earlier, to all the playing under center. That's part of it too, right? Taking the ball under center, proper footwork, all that's new to him too. But you can practice that stuff. What's a little bit more difficult is what I just showed. You know what I'm saying? And we had a clip of it this week, even on Hard Knocks, of, you know what I'm saying, the New York Giants quizzing Jaden Daniels at it. And I want to show this. And I got one more clip. And then I would just want to talk about this in depth because I believe this is the major part for Caleb. That's going to be, that's why I said at least keep a look keep a lookout for the wristband, because how do you kind of mediate that? How do you mitigate that as an offensive coordinator? You give the player the wristband. So instead of him have to remember all the stuff that John Gruden was trying to get Chris Sims to recite, he just looks down and says, scatter the X right, tight, F over, Z fly, all this other stuff. That long, expansive terminology is right there on the wristband. Now, the limitations of the wristband is there's only so many plays that you can put on there. You can get a good amount on there, but it gets a little bit sketchy and limiting when you do that. But you know what I'm saying? New York was trying to hem Jaden up, but I want you to see that Jaden at least has, and they put him in a tight situation here in the interview room, just first of all trying to mix him up on the play call, but he had the nuance of it down. I want you to show.
Erase that Z, make him the F. Erase the X and make him the Z. Erase the W, make him the X. Erase the T and make him the H. Ready?
Yep.
Gun trolley right, 64 house X in. Give it back to me. Nope, don't look at it.
Oh, you want me?
Give it back to me how we call it.
The whole play?
Yeah.
Gun trolley right, house F in.
Okay, X in.
X in.
That's okay. And then if it's cover 1, what do we want you to do? Probably.
Throw a touchdown.
All right, I like that answer.
An example of what we're going to get on Hard Knocks. Now, when I saw that, I got so excited because I was like, if they're going to talk like that, the Bears Hard Knocks, I know exactly what that play is. I know exactly what they were trying to do on that play and what Brian Debo was trying to do to Jaden in that interview. He had him play up on the board. He had him switch the position numbers calls around, right? But while he was switching the position numbers, the position nomenclature, X, Y, whatever, around, he already knew that he was going to ask him to recite the play he had gave him before. He had him switch the players around. So, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that, and he messed it up, he did. He forgot the first two routes, which was the 64, right? So the 64 was a 6 and the 4 route, and then he had the over or under, and then the end. Either way, those are examples of what the learning curve will be for Caleb Williams and what he's going to have to grow into throughout the season and get better at to really understand and do what he didn't do at college. That's the main thing that I'm looking forward to and watching throughout this season, how he grows in that. I don't know what to say next. What do y'all got? What are y'all thinking?
So my thing is, I agree with you, Coach T. I don't think Caleb Williams has a cadence issue. When I hear cadence, I think of like just the verbiage pre-play at the snap. You know what I'm saying? What I'm looking for in Caleb's development, I want to see how he stalks his prey. Are you attacking prey that's in the water from on land, or are you meeting it in the water? Are you waiting? Are you close enough to your prey before you strike? Are you stalking long enough? That's stuff that Justin Fields had trouble with. I don't think Caleb will have any issues with that because he has tools as a thrower of the football. Like once his back foot hits the ground, the ball is gone. Quick release, sharp eyes. But like you said, that's all different when you get to the NFL. There's a lot more detail. You have to be a little bit more tact. To be honest with you, when you showed me that Jaden Daniels, I was surprised because I know that there's a lot of like different, I don't want to say verbiage, but there's a lot of different signals within one play call, and Jaden was able to recite that while Brian Daboll was trying to confuse him, trying to make sure that is this kid chasing his tail? You know what I'm saying? I don't worry about that with Caleb because he's sharp. He's mentally sharp naturally. So,
Elise, are you froze?
No. No, I was just listening to Jay. So, for me, like and I've said this to Julius multiple times. I've said this multiple times. I'm not setting like any of these crazy expectations for Caleb Williams, right? I just want him to get better each week, right? I don't want him to keep making the same mistakes twice, right? Like what I want to see from him is like, all right, once you learn the play, can you just spit it out like that? Like you basically, like you said, Coach T, how much are you using the wristband? How much are you not? Like at this point, I expect him to use it early and often, right? A little bit, and but that's okay, right? He's a rookie, right? And all this other things. But I think he will get better over time with, the cadence, I guess that's what you want to call it, and all that.
I don't want to call it that.
What?
I don't want to call it that.
Well, we'll put it in quotes then.
Yeah.
But I think he'll get better with that over time. I think I don't know. I'm one of those people. I'm just temporary by expectations, so I don't get hurt.
That's the whole purpose for me bringing that up. The whole purpose is for me to help the fans manage their expectations. I wanted to bring this comment up from Yada because he said, "Why not show Caleb's interaction with Daboll?" I can show Caleb's interaction with Daboll, but if you go back and watch the show, watch what I said earlier. I rewind the show several times to understand what was happening in those rooms, right? And if you go back and watch Caleb's interaction with Daboll, HBO Hard Knocks, and I told Julius this, me and Julius talk all the time. We chat all the time because we always are thinking about ideas for the show and how to communicate what we're seeing on the show. You don't want me to go back and show Daboll's interaction with Caleb because HBO Hard Knocks did not show Caleb being asked the same question as Jaden and JJ.
Nah, yeah.
So if you want me to dissect that now, so you got to be careful what you asked for. Listen, I'm telling y'all, don't play with the attention to detail when it comes to football, guy. Because when I watched the show, I asked myself, why didn't HBO show Caleb reciting plays the way they showed Jaden and JJ did? They didn't show Daboll quizzing them the same way. They didn't. They just asked Caleb to choose his favorite play given the situation. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing they asked him. They said, given any situation, you have 70 plays in the game, 45 are pass plays. This is the exact quote. Mm-hmm. He said you have 70 plays in the game, 45 pass plays. Give me the best play you running.
Right.
And if you really want me to go into detail on what actually happened, he actually drew up a play that he shifted out of trips to empty. And I'm like, bruh, not in the NFL. Not in the NFL. So he drew up a play where he shifted from trips left to trips right. He shifted from trips left into empty, where he motions the running back out to the flat. That's why I say stop. Don't play with me when it comes to football stuff and the X's and O's. And when we get into it, because when I watch these shows, and they start drawing stuff up on the board, I know exactly what I'm looking at. So he shifted from a trips left set to motion the backfield, running back out to the flat to go to an empty set. And he said, if this is your play that you want to go to in any given situation, the question I would have for him is say, okay, so any given situation, you're going to empty your backfield out and not have a running back there for your protection to add to the protection scheme. So you're going to go 5-man protection in any given situation. So if the defense has more numbers coming, or they have a stud edge rusher out there, what's going to be your safety net when it comes to your protection? Who's going to have who's going to be your extra man back there blocking? That's just a football question I would have for you. A football nerd question I would have for a quarterback that says empty for you use empty formation very sparingly in given situations. I wouldn't think with everything on the line, I'm running something with empty set. I'm gonna have a running back there. He's gonna check the block extra man. If it's nothing, now you're gonna be my outlet, my safety net, or my check down. That's just me doing football stuff.
Hey, Coach, a wise man once said, "Don't bring me a play until you show me how to block it." Right there.
I don't. Who said that? I don't know.
It's eluding me. It is eluding me.
I don't know who would have ever said, "Don't bring me a play if you don't know how to block it." I don't know who would have ever alluded that.
We have to bring.
It be my mentor.
Yeah, we have to get it. We'll get the next show. We'll make sure we get the next show. He'll tell you, because he's not lying. He called me. When did you call me? Thursday, maybe Wednesday. We was talking about it.
Yeah, no, we'll pull it up on the next video. I just literally said, listen, man, I know how y'all are. I know y'all sensitive around Caleb stuff.
Man, that's a sensitive comment right there.
I'm not even gonna show y'all the difference between how they go back and watch the show. It's free on HBO Max.
Free. Go on and watch it.
I'll make sure I get it for Tuesday show.
And Julius asked me the question. He said, why do you think that is? I said, first of all, we have to start with they didn't show it. Let's start with first thing. They could have asked him to call or recite a play, and HBO chose not to show it. That's real. So if they chose not to show it, they chose not to show it. Right? That's one thing. But you know what I'm saying? The fact remains, what they did show, I can still, and that's why I'm telling you what's exciting about the upcoming season and the Bears being on Hard Knocks. What they do show, I can break down. I can still break it, take the content, rewind it, and say, oh, they said, you know what I'm saying, whatever that play call Dabo gave. You know what I'm saying? It was a simple doubles, 2x2 formation with a 6 route, a 4 route. Sounds like a sail route and an out or in route.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He called out the formation. He gave the protection, because there's an order to a play call: formation, protection. Then you get into your routes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that hard. You know what I'm saying? So
has to hear their what they got to do in that play.
Where Caleb is in his progress or not?
They don't.
I do though, because I want to understand football.
That's what I'm saying.
I want to understand. I'm not. It doesn't matter if it was Caleb, Jaden, or whatever. I don't. Like I told y'all when we first came on, basketball is my first love. So I don't understand. Like, okay, for instance, my guy Monty and his homeboy, we had a party in my house, and he's like, "Man, I love when y'all talk about the X's and O's." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's Elise and damn T." I said, "That's all them." I said, "I've learned so much from them." He's like, "Yeah, man, I love that part." So there's people that want to hear that, man. So,
but this is why I said I don't even have expectations for Caleb Williams, right? because there's so much nuance that goes into this whole thing, especially for rookie quarterbacks coming in, and especially one that's coming from an air raid system, right?
Right.
Like, even, like, I don't think people realize this, but Mahomes said it himself. He couldn't read defenses until his, third year?
Third
in
or
the
fourth
league?
year.
Third or fourth year in the league.
Coming out of that same system.
Like, coming out of that same system, like, he couldn't read a thing. Like, he couldn't really drop a play, none of that stuff. Like, he couldn't do that. Like, and that's why him sitting a year benefited him, because he was still learning the game while he was going along, right? And that's how he became, Mahomes. But like, I feel like, and this is another reason, it's like, too many people are sensitive, right? I can have an opinion and I can put it out there, and people are going to judge it whether they agree or not, right? Because everyone wants to come back and be like, told you so, see this, blah, 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 yada, yada. Like, I don't care, bro.
Yeah, that's
Like,
the point. Like, the whole thing is, watch this. This is what I'm gonna tell y'all. I said this during the season last year. I said, after the Senior Bowl, everything becomes conjecture and debate anyway. After the Senior Bowl, there's nothing else on film, right? We're not at Hallis Hall. We don't know what decisions are being made. Why? Somebody asked me, my buddy from Chicago Bears 24/7 asked me, said, Coach, how do you think you missed it on the Justin Fields decision? And I said, simple as this, right? I'm a military guy, and quite naturally, by my personality, and I'm a football coach, I don't do politics, right? A blind spot of mine, even today in my corporate career, is politics. I don't like the games that are playing on the back end for political reasons. I don't pick up on it, because I'm a straight shooter. I see what I see is black and white. Bye-bye. I'm gonna tell you what I see, right? And for political reasons, I believe they made the decisions they made. It wasn't purely, I'm telling you, it wasn't purely off of production and X's and O's. So, you know what I'm saying? If I went to how football is played, how offensive football play is designed, how you formulate an offense, how you build a playbook, then I stick by my take every time. Now, I'll ask anybody this question. Go find somebody that will pull up where I did a film breakdown where they say, oh, you was wrong. What you didn't see, see, why here? This is the cool part about it, right? We can do shows like this where it's round robin and we speak about football and stuff like this. But what you guys will notice is usually when I'm gonna do the film breakdown shows, I'm gonna do those by myself. Because guess what? I gotta go so far into detail. You gotta hone in on every little thing that I'm riding for that by myself. So the takes about Justin Fields, as Yada put it, Justin Fields tomfoolery. Listen, when we started talking about Justin Fields and trying to figure out what was going to happen with him, you can only go off of what you know. And if I go off of football play, what was happening on the field, plenty of people, even players in the locker room, everybody said, oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? They're going to keep Justin Fields. Even players on this team. So fire the players on this team, including DJ Moore, they said, oh, yeah, Justin is better than anybody they got coming out. He was wrong, too. So
they ain't going to do that.
You're going to throw the baby out the bath water? Come on, man. Come on, man.
I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
So we was talking about Getsy, right? Not really Justin, but Getsy, right? So Elise was talking about she talked about this when it happened, OTAs for the Raiders, right? I don't know if y'all remember. Some of y'all act like y'all didn't see it, but remember they were talking about how Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell were struggling with the offense, right? They were struggling. They were having a hard time, all this other stuff. Well, this article from, let me see.
Hold on, Jules, before you say this. Yada, there is no reason to be biased, man. What do I get out of being biased?
Bro, they sensitive, bro.
Hold on a second. What I'm saying is pure football X's and O's. The dude, is it true or is it not a fact? In the air raid system, you don't. Berlismo's in the comments. he could tell you this. Is it a factor or not that in the air raid system, the play calls aren't as expansive as in with the pro system? Is that true or not?
True.
Is it a fact that Caleb Williams is on the wristband right now?
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Bro,
What is what's the agenda? I'm reporting.
Here's the thing.
It's not what y'all want to hear. I'm reporting.
Here's the thing, Coach T. A lot of these people just want you to hop on the bandwagon and
I'm
get
not
the jock strap that
yeah,
is.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that either. No. You got to show me on the football field.
Yeah, show
I
me.
can care less what you do with shorts and a helmet on. I
but
do
watch
not
this.
give a damn.
But-
Bro, if you all that in the bag of chips, why is your team only 7-5? You're supposed to be able to elevate your team, right? Because that's what they tell me, is you could elevate the players around you.
What
so
is
if you
this?
can do that, why the hell did your team finish 7-5?
Elite.
And not make the playoffs once, okay? That's what I want to know.
But watch this though. It's again, I want y'all to understand.
And I don't want to hear shit about, oh, the defense was bad. I don't give a damn about that. You're supposed to be the next best thing. You're supposed to be better than Andrew Luck. So
see, that's what I'm saying. Watch this. Can I say this though? Watch this. And we said this was going to happen, Elise. Watch this. This goes back to last season. I said, once things start happening on the film and we have football actual footage, I'm going to actually become more of a Caleb apologist, especially early on, up through weeks 1 through 14, because I'll be able to see what Shane is trying to get Caleb to do, right, and cover and track how he's mastering those concepts throughout from week 1 to about 14. I didn't expect to see progression or development, really like signs that we're winning games because of Caleb till about week 12 to 14. So I would become more of a Caleb apologist when it happens. What I'm doing is showing you, because y'all don't know, and I'm not talking about y'all, but y'all don't know in the audience what a scatter the X right gun, nothing, blah, blah, blah. You don't know what the terminology is. So what I'm doing is translating and reporting that for you, right? So why do I get the pushback when I'm doing my job and saying it's agenda? If I showed you Jaden came from a system that they did it, he has experience, because somebody said in the comments, oh, they'll do all right. Everybody has to do, every rookie quarterback has to do the same thing. No, they don't. Not for the first time. Jaden is not having to recite long play calls for the first time. He did it for his last 2 years at LSU. So he already has a 2-year head start on that. That's like saying I'm a developer, right? I'm a program developer. I've never written any code on any major projects for any company ever, right? But I was in high school classes that taught coding for my junior and senior year. So I learned coding my junior and senior year. So when I got a job, I already got this experience at doing this, and that's irrelevant. Everybody has to start out at the same spot. No, this guy has 2 more years experience doing that. Stop skipping over the details of the game. Learn the game. Listen to people that know the game talk about the game and describe what these players have to go through to become successful at the game.
What are you talking about, Hassan?
So Hassan, that's why Baker Mayfield's still with the Browns, because he had that great rookie season, right? That's why he's still with the Browns.
Baker Mayfield played in a different system when he went to
he did.
He played in a pro style. He hasn't played in the what's it called since he left college?
Air raid.
Yeah.
Thank you. These
people don't know. They just assume. That's what I'm saying. Because if you're not kissing up to the golden boy, you're a hater.
No, but what I want them to do is stop looking at the macro level, and stop attributing to malice. Nobody listen. Whether Caleb wins or loses in Chicago, it's only entertainment. I don't have an agenda other than to report on what I see or what I can see from my perspective. And so what I'm telling you is, and the reason why this is going to help you is is when he comes out, if he comes out and he doesn't throw, he's not throwing for 250, 300, 350-yard games like a lot of y'all Bears fans who are, I don't have a better word, ignorant of the game, right? What if he does not coming out and playing like your giving you fantasy numbers immediately, and you don't have an explanation of why? This is what Bears fans do. They're gonna throw the kid away, just like you did, Justin. So this is how to help you manage your expectations, because you don't understand.
Hear that, bro.
Yeah, you don't understand the development, so you throw things away. No, it's going to take him time to learn to do something he didn't do at college. It's not parking lot football where you go draw a play in the sand, you go out there and run it, and you just get it. This is the professional National Football League. And there's a huge learning curve for this quarterback.
We're not okay. So Hassan says we talking about Caleb coming out of air raid system as did Baker and Kyler.
That didn't answer my question, Hassan. That didn't answer my question. If Baker was that good, why is he still not with the Browns? Why is he not with the Browns?
He didn't go to an air raid system. Kyler did. That's the difference. They went to two different systems. Kyler went right to an air raid.
Exactly. Kyler went to an air raid quarterback. That's why they drafted him. I'm gonna tell you, this is football right here. That's why they remember it was another guy that was there. The quarterback they had just drafted in Arizona. Who was there?
Josh Rosen.
Josh Rosen. Yeah. Josh Rosen was just drafted. Cliff Kingsbury drafted a guy that fit his system, that knew his system, that could come out playing day one. And watch this. He knew the system and was just good, just average. So take any of the air raid quarterbacks and that come out of that system, out of that coaching tree. Who's done the best out of all the quarterbacks that come out of air raid system under those coaches? Who's the next guy?
Kyler
and Baker.
Your boy at Philly.
It was Baker then Kyler. Sorry.
Your boy at Philly.
I don't know.
You're right.
Yep.
We forget about Jalen Hurts.
So watch this. You have to, if you're going to evaluate it, you can't. And this is what Bears fans want to do. This is why I'm trying to help y'all manage expectations.
Right.
Y'all want to talk about Mahomes without talking about the worst of that group. You can't have a conversation not having any film, having any evidence on the field of having production and say, well, it's going to be this. No, you have to take the best out of a Cliff Kingsbury, Lincoln Riley system and the worst and say it could be anywhere in this space. Have an honest intellectual conversation, a football conversation. Don't be one-sided about it. But again,
no, they one-sided in the comments, and I'm lying.
Don Bird's right though. We can at least just talk about Baker a couple weeks ago. He got a system and a guy that works with him, and that's why he looks like Baker Mayfield. It ain't he got a coach that works.
It always has to be a quarterback coordinator match. It always has to be a quarterback system match.
In this day and age for Bears fans, it's about the quarterback. See, the coach don't matter. Fuck the coach, bro. If you're that good, you don't need a damn coach. You're just going to be out there slinging the damn rock.
I've heard that. I've heard that too, which is crazy to me, especially being the coach, because I understand day after day, week after week, also off season, what it takes to get a player from an offense from day one. I don't know nothing. I don't even know how to get together in the huddle and line up in the huddle, what position to line up to understand what the first term in a play call is, to get them to where they can play a full out season where we can do adjustment protections. We can do audibles. We can do checks at the line.
Last comment up?
I was about to say that because that's not entirely accurate. Kingsbury couldn't advance his offense. That was a problem. That's why he got fired.
Right. That's not a correct comment.
Yeah,
that's not a correct comment.
The previous comment about the coverages and stuff.
You want me that one? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that one, because I'm a big Ohio State guy, and I knew C.J. Stroud was going to be good. Mm-hmm. But last year, when the Texans played Pittsburgh, C.J. Stroud did everything in Sophisticated Thoughts comments as a rookie with Bobby Sloyd in Houston. When I watched that game, I seen a guy not only manage protection, but he diagnosed the Pittsburgh Steelers coverage to where the Steelers offense was only on the field to muster up 6 points. That means CJ Stroud was on top of them the whole game. That's hard to do as a rookie.
But can I say something about this statement right here too?
Yeah.
Because I see this a lot, right? When people be like, recognize defensive coverages. Let me tell you, man, I can take any kid in Georgia or Florida right now. Bring the comment back up.
Oh, okay.
And pre-snap, I can take any kid in middle school in Georgia, Florida, probably Texas or California that plays a position quarterback, and they can recognize coverages pre-snap. What makes quarterbacking different is not the ability to recognize coverages pre-snap, right? It's whether it's too high, single high safety, the safeties depth leverage, SDLs, acronym a lot of people teach. Safeties, count the safeties, cornerback depth, and the leverage they're playing. Is the field open in the middle, meaning single high safety, or is it closed? One single high safety closed or open, two high safety. Any middle schooler that plays a position quarterback that's actually going to captain, being coached to play the position quarterback, can recognize coverages pre-snap. What makes quarterbacking difficult is being able to recognize the nuance or understanding what safety is spending. Because most defenses are going to show you two high safety and spend the one. They're going to show you single high safety and spend the two. How do you recognize that? You recognize it by the cornerback, the safety, and where they're playing in relationship to the hash. But you know what I'm saying? We just talk football over here. We just talk X's and O's over here. That's what I'm saying. If you come to that's what I'm saying. I have no reason to hate on Caleb Williams. I'm telling you what to expect. Everything out of camp saying that the struggle is being with cadence. What I'm telling you is this is coming from the platforms that y'all laud, that y'all blow up, and they're saying cadence. When you come over here, we're giving you detail, and I say it's not the cadence, it's actually the play call that he's struggling with. He's on the wristband, right? You know, struggling with, you know what I'm saying? Sid, red 980, or which one would be more difficult? Struggling with Sid, red 980, or, you know what I'm saying, having to make a play call, ace right gun, Y off, Z fly, X over, 64, sail in. The elongated play call is the most difficult part, and the part that he's wrestling with. And it's okay, guys. He hasn't played an NFL down yet. I'm telling you, it's okay. It's exactly where he's supposed to be. And what we're going to do is track that from week 1 to week 12. Stop being in all defensive mode over, you know what I'm saying? The golden boy.
Can I say something real quick?
Thank you.
I know, and we didn't mean to get on Justin. That's not what but we're just talking about coaching X and O's. But here's one thing that people that I was just looking at. I was trying to find the exact number, but I couldn't. Y'all gotta remember, Tom Brady, he made it known when he didn't like his offensive coordinator. And I want this guy, I want that guy. Why? Because they knew exactly what he was capable of.
Bro, at least I'm making a good point right here too.
So it's like you have to have yeah.
Pre-snap motion as well. I forgot that part.
Yeah. So you gotta have, it's like you said, it's gotta be in concert. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure, coach, you had players like, yeah, they ain't working with this guy. But you had other guys with people like, it's not gonna work with him, but you made him look better than he was. You know what I'm saying? We talked about this earlier for those that wasn't on it. That's what makes Mike Tomlin great. He knows how to make his players and use them, and he knows how to get all of their strengths out of them and minimize their weaknesses. A lot of coaches can't do that at all. Period.
Man, I had guys that were more talented at quarterback that couldn't learn my offense, couldn't recite a play, and I couldn't play them. I had to build packages for them because they couldn't recite a play, couldn't memorize a play, couldn't memorize protections, couldn't memorize shifts, couldn't They would always forget something, and I had to play a less talented guy that could remember everything. I can install my whole playbook.
I'll just read that article. It said Gardner Minshew already changing plays in the huddle. So the last couple of years, guess he wouldn't let people change his plays, but he let Minshew. That means he learned from his mistakes. So
it happens.
It wasn't one guy. It was a whole collection of people learning, and it just didn't work out. It is what it is.
Yeah, no, it's.
I mean, these negative Nancy's, sensitive Nancy's, and
no, it's
grow up.
That's what I'm saying. It's not people. That's what I'm saying. People default, and that's because Justin Fields lives rent free in their head.
Yeah,
they
man,
default. They defaulted to. Yeah, no, they defaulted to a Justin Fields conversation when it's not about that. You know what I'm saying? Justin Fields with this Pittsburgh Steelers. Am I going to track his progress? You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. I'm a fan of football. I'm a big Mike Tom. In the pros, I like Kyle Shanahan as far as coaches, because coaches like
Sean
coaches.
McVay.
I like Kyle Shanahan. Nah, not so much. I'm a big Kyle Shanahan and Mike Tomlin guy. Yeah, McVay. I'll give McVay credit to this, right? I thought McVay was done. I felt like McVay, everything he was doing offensively was getting redundant, and it was getting old, and you know what I'm saying? He was doing a lot of stuff the same year. He's kind of reinvigorated his offense, and so he's better now, but he's not the same guy. You know what I'm saying?
No,
it is what it is. So again, for the purpose of this program, we know, or at least I know where the kid is. This is why I'm trying to get the camp so I can see it for myself. I know where the kid is now. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to track, you know what I'm saying, his progress, you know what I'm saying, and from here until week 12 to 14. And who else? You know what I'm saying? I hate to do it. I hate to do y'all like this, but I got to do it. You know what I'm saying? When you can do it, you do it. I don't know too many other Bears DIY media people that got y'all quarterback. The quarterback we talking about, position coach, his name and they phone.
Yeah.
Huh? We talking? I can't hear. I can't hear nobody.
Yeah,
you ain't got to cook these Why are you cooking these
any receipts?
We should have, you know what? We should ask Will to come on the show and y'all could talk about not like specific of which you talk to Kerry, but at least let Will explain from his perspective what he saw and what he heard. But not
you talking about when me and Kerry was talking?
Yeah.
We'll have him on.
Will explain it and from a first person perspective so people can understand. Like,
I'm be honest with you, and this is no shade to Will. Will's my boy, but I'm gonna be no shade. I think me and Kerry got so caught, we got so in depth and got so lost in coach talk, coach X and O's nerds talk that he probably tuned out. He probably was like, I don't know what the fuck y'all talk about. And he was
I brought him up because you know people would try to discredit you, but like, dude, this man was
you want me to I'm not gonna post our text, man. I don't text him every day. I don't text him once a month. I text him when I really want to know something and I feel like it's a good question to ask that is not putting his job in jeopardy or compromising his job and his situation with the Chicago Bears. I didn't ask him. This is true. I never asked him what the Bears are doing. Are they drafting Caleb or keeping Justin? I never asked that question. I did ask him, just full transparency. I did ask him, had they made a decision yet one day, and that was a mistake. I told Julius about that. But other than that, most of the time I am very picky about what questions I ask him because I understand, you know, this is a black man in a situation, you know, where I'm not putting him, his family, his situation, whatever that any of. What I'm saying is, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. It's all like coaches talk, bro. Coaches talk. You know what I'm saying? It's a fraternity, bro. It low key is. So And then when people realize, you know what, again, I don't know this man from Adam. I just went up and said, start talking ball. When we start talking ball, that it's an inlet, it's a key, it's an open door from then on. Oh, you know what he's talking about. All right, boom, boom, that's that and the other.
Yes, yeah.
Hey, what are you gonna do? Like, I can give you nuggets from the conversation. I can tell you for sure. You know what I'm saying? I asked the question. Hey, what are we gonna do? Oh no, I didn't ask the question. I said, hey, Will asked the question. He said, hey, so what are we going to be doing? Shane's going to be doing this offense, blah, blah, blah. And I said, hey, before you answer that, let me tell you what I told my audience, what I think it's going to be, right? And you tell me if I'm right or wrong. So I was like, hey, we're going to run a little inside, outside zone, toss sweep, you know what I'm saying, through the zone scheme. Y'all going to go gap power. You're going to run a lot of power counters off of that. Really counters out of the gap system. Off the inside outside zone. He was like, not inside outside zone so much, probably mid zone, which I was like, oh, okay. That's something I wouldn't have guessed. But if I went back and looked at the film, which I did, I was like, damn, you damn right. He is running mid zone more so than outside zone. And what's the difference? It's a subtle difference. You know what I'm saying? Is where the running back is attacking on the zone, where his break being bang theory is coming into play. If you don't know what break being bang theory is, that's why you need to tune into the show. Like, man, I'm not finna sit here and defend my, you know what I'm saying? You know, X's and O's prowess, you know what I'm saying, show after the show. What I'm saying is there is no reason to have an agenda. Y'all got to get out of y'all own head. Get over the Civil War. Get over the Justin Fields situation. Guess what? We care, but nobody cares. It's over now. We're excited to cover the Chicago Bears 2024. And what I'm saying is, look, I'm gonna give you this take. I'm gonna let y'all talk. I want y'all to be like my pops. My pops used to be always pissed off at the Bears just from a fan's. My dad played the game and he coached a little bit. Always pissed off. And my dad tells me all the time. He watches the show. He tunes in from YouTube. I mean, Facebook, of course, because that's where the OGs are at. He says, understanding the why and why certain things are happening, why they aren't happening, helps you manage your expectations. So you're less angry and you understand, okay, this is why this is happening, why it isn't happening. That's the only thing that I want y'all to take from the show, is to give you information. It's not Fox News. It's not CNN. It's not NBC. You know what I'm saying? We're not spinning nothing for the sake of spinning. It's to give you the information and you do what the hell you want to do with it. That's the bottom line. So if you think it's an agenda, if you think it's biased, you know what I'm saying? You're going to really think it's biased when we get in the building. I'm just going to put it like that.
I could tell you like this. When I first got back on Twitter last year or a year and a half, 2 years ago, whatever it was, and I started listening to Elise and Jay and all them talk like football and baseball, particularly. It's like I watch both them sports so much differently than I've ever watched them. Like, I always had a good understanding about baseball more than I had football, honestly. But it's like even now when I'm watching baseball, like I'm watching how the pitcher throws, all this other stuff, how to do his, like, okay, is he gonna do this in this spot and all that, like, shit, stuff I never thought about in my life before I started listening to Jay and, you know, people like that, Ray, all the people. And then like Elise can tell you about a dude in college right now that you don't know
nothing about.
But I guarantee come draft, you gonna see it, you gonna hear his name, like, God damn, didn't Elise talk about this dude? Because I can't remember who the player I was trying to remember yesterday, but Elise was talking about some player, and I cannot remember. Maybe she remember. She kept telling me and Isaiah for months, this guy, and then the draft stuff card coming up, and they start talking about dude. I was like, God dang, Elise.
The same person Elise talk. So it's two people. Wow, and that's a niche, right? So certain people I look to for that, right? I can tell you two people I listen to about player personnel, because especially out of college, because I don't watch college football like that. But I've committed to doing better this year. I'm probably gonna take the SEC and focus on them. But if I think something about a certain player, I either have Elise or another person that can kind of change my mind about player personnel or individual players is Swifty. I know they're doing the work. That's the thing. I know they know their stuff. and they're doing the work. So, you know what I'm saying? When we put in, because this is what I'm saying, y'all see what y'all see for the show. It may be an hour film breakdown, but I might have done 2 hours of watching film offline before the show. When you put in 3 hours total a week of foot film watch, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn what people are saying. You know what I'm saying about your take when you putting in the work. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not.
I'll be back, y'all.
Yeah. So if AJ say, I know AJ is watching college football, a lot of college football.
I love college football, bro.
You know what I'm saying? But I know, like for example, Swift. I know Swift is doing a lot of film work behind the scenes on players. He breaking the player down. I know Berlismo break down players in the detail. Shout out to Berlismo. I ain't mean to leave you out of that. But yeah, that conversation. Yeah. It's certain people I'm gonna listen to and I'm be like, all right, like some of y'all, I was like, man, in the take stood, but I was like, man, for what we need, I'm admittedly, I wasn't high on Roma Dunze at first. I wasn't, but I was like, because I want somebody, because a pure burner does something different to defensive coordinators than say, quote unquote, a great route runner / possession receiver. So for that reason, what I felt like the Bears needed, because we already had Keenan Allen, I was like, man, let's go get a pure burner. But somebody was like, hey, coach, you need to pay attention to his contested ball catching. I was like, all right, went back and looked at it. I was like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? I like him a lot better now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I trust my people that do they thing. Shout out to J2K in the chat. Just joined us, by the way.
My homie Ian absolutely hated the Roma Dunze pick. And generally, like what I like about football, I love the trenches and the physicality of it. Because that's what makes it unique to every other sport. If you're able to move a man against his will, that's a superpower.
Yes, sir.
That's a superpower. So to round it back out to this, like when you guys seen the video, I was at the CHGO draft party, right? We knew he was taking Caleb. We was having a few drinks in between our next pick. And my guy Junior turned was like, dude, what if we fucking draft Roma Dunze? And sure as shit, at 9, we got Roma Dunze. Greg fucking carried me up like his first son on the stage. Like we was partying. It was a party atmosphere. Now, mind you, this was a guy that I didn't want the Bears to pick at 9. But the sheer joy and elation when the Bears called his name, it can't be duplicated. And it took me a little bit of time to go back, like, what the fuck are we so excited about with Roma Dunze? I knew he's a good player. I go back and watch the tape. Not only is this guy hitting his blocking assignments, but at the apex of going up and grabbing a football, he's unrivaled right now. And when that's one of the best things you could get for a rookie quarterback is somebody who could win one-on-one battles on the ground, in the air, up the seam, like whatever situation you could put a wide receiver in. I trust Roma Dunze in, even at the infancy of his career. That's with me saying I didn't want the Bears to pick him. So you could hang on to a take. You can have an ideology about the game of football, but at the end of the day, you got to eat the meat and spit out the bones, because you'll be left and lost. Coach, you remember when we first started talking during the Bears season, you used to despise the Bears running quarterback power. And I used to be hitting you up. Yeah, you like that run, Coach T, by Justin Fields? I love that. I need 10. At least I wanted. I wanted 6 to 10 carries from Justin every. He wanted.
I'm like, dog, we need to cut them back.
Look, and you know what? And that's a good conversation for us to have, because the casual fans see a super athletic quarterback. They want to utilize him, but the football people saying, hold on, wait, why are you using the most important player in the organization as a battering ram? Why?
Bro, and the crazy thing is like, it's funny because when I be talking about Caleb, people think I hate Caleb. When really the truth of the matter is that's far from the truth, right? Like, you can go back, like when I did my pods with Ray, like when it was just the two of us, I talked about Caleb Williams before anybody else. Like, now all of a sudden, I hate Caleb. Like, nah, bro. Like, I was watching this man when he was at Oklahoma. I literally predicted his Heisman season before the season even started. I'm just like, bro. I told Ray, I'm like, watch out for Caleb Williams. Like, he's gonna be a dog this year. He's my Heisman dark horse. Like all this, that, and the third. Now all of a sudden, everyone wants to slurp the jockstrap of Caleb Williams. It's crazy to me. I started that, bro. I started that. Like,
I want. This is simply what I want to do. I got one agenda: to track his progression, to track how Shane, he and Shane are implementing this offense throughout the season.
Yeah.
Who's talking about whether he's on the wristband or not? Who's talking about the details? Who's talking about the nuances of offensive football? Right? Who's looking for the signs? So if when he's off the wristband, because this is what happens, right? And guess what? You have if you ever get into this game, you're gonna have your detractors. I'm gonna tell you that. Don't get into this game. It's not for the faint of heart.
That's why I cleanse my timeline, bro.
But what I'm saying is also, and Julius attested to this, nobody's gonna show up for you can have a million takes that were right. You get one take wrong, that's all they gonna remember.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's gonna go back and look at any of the film breakdown videos we did from last year. Nobody's gonna show up in the comments and be like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? You nailed that one. You nailed this one. That the other. It's not about that. Again, at the end of the day, it's about reporting what you see and standing on the business as it comes to your takes. What I'm saying is we got a long way to go, and I'm excited to see the progress of this quarterback. I feel like we got a good coordinator now. Mm-hmm. We got a good quarterback that's raw talent. If we want to extinguish the narrative that Chicago, the organization, does not develop quarterbacks, we're in the best position ever, coordinator, quarterback, and talent-wise, than we've been probably ever. When you think about those three elements, we're in a better position than we ever been better. And guess what? We're going to track it in the end. That's all it's going to be about. Right? That's what it's going to be about. No, it wasn't. See, this is what I'm saying. I'm not paying.
No,
I'm not paying attention no more. People are disingenuous because guess what? That you eliminate the whole Justin Fields conversation.
Let me see the comment. I'm on the other.
We ain't bringing that up no more. We're not bringing that up no more.
We're not bringing that
up. When you bring up the Justin Fields conversation, watch what I just said. You people are selective hearing. When you talk about the Justin Fields situation, I never talked about Justin Fields without talking about Luke Getsy. What did I just say about the 2024 Chicago Bears? We're in the best situation. Coordinator, quarterback, talent-wise, all three elements working together.
Picking and choosing, man.
That's what I'm saying. So people that wanted to talk about Justin Fields, they wanted to ignore Luke Getsy because coaching doesn't matter. Oh, because I don't know what the coach is supposed to do, what his job is. I think he just makes up plays on Sunday and just shows up after having brunch with his family and just makes up some plays to call. You don't know about the weekly progression of what happens, or creating a call sheet, or creating a play script on Monday and narrowing that play script down to prepare for a game on Sunday. See what I'm saying? You don't know the nuances of it. So like I said, it's easy to dismiss, but that's fine. That's fine. This is for if you want, like Julia said earlier, if you want to be a more educated football fan, you want to understand the nuances of the game, then show up. We're gonna get some takes right. We're gonna get some takes wrong. But you know what I'm saying? I resent biases. I resent agenda. Really, not so much bias because everybody's biased.
Right.
But agendas, I resent that.
You gotta know. I feel like you gotta know the people you're talking to. Like so I say this, right? And Jay Targaryen is a perfect example. If you know Jay, he's biased when he's being funny or he's messing with you, he's trolling you. But when he's serious, he's one of the most unbiased people that we know. Like he'll give you his honest opinion and he ain't gonna use no bias with it. So it's like you got to understand who you're dealing with. And I feel like all of us, include Bishop, he's not on here right now, but we're all unbiased. Just because we may bring up a subject doesn't mean that we're talking about somebody. No, we just giving opinions because guess what? For those who weren't on the show earlier, and I'll say it again, we talked about Mike Tomlin and why Mike Tomlin has been so successful as a coach.
Right.
How this whole conversation.
The question is, do you believe? Does anybody believe we want Caleb Williams to fail?
No.
Actually, there's people that believe that with me, but that's
people believe that we don't want him to fail. No, not at all.
But you know what's crazy is, like we can honestly say nobody wants Caleb Williams to fail. We can turn the calendar back last year. Look at how many Bears fans was pounding the table for Justin's failure.
Yeah.
Like think about it.
Yep.
Like, we can have opinions about the new guy.
I froze up. They're pounding the table for what?
They were clamoring for the failure of Justin Fields. They were literally walking my boy to the gallows every week.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah,
but
right.
How can we say you're a Bears fan when you want the quarterback to fail?
I don't.
You're not a Bears fan, bro.
I don't even want to comment on that part of it because, like I said, you know what I'm saying. You gotta have some sort of intellectual, emotional. You gotta have some. You have some EQ to be honest with yourself and be like, all right, am I intelligently arguing the right way? Listen, all we have to work on, all we have to go on is what we have to go on, right? There's Mel Kiper has been wrong. Todd McShay has been wrong a million times, right? All the bigger channels on Bears DIY Media, CHGO, I'm calling them out. 670 to score. All the big four, all the big, they're wrong all the time. They're wrong all the time. They're biased as hell or as hell. Why do they not get the same flack? That is a rhetorical question. I'm just talking.
I'm
ready to show the Shane Waldron clip.
Man, I had to. If I could remember, I'm gonna have to get this clip. Stephen A was on the OGs and he spoke about what you just said. Like, it's not about being right or wrong, it's about being prepared with your material. Like, you can be wrong, but if you know what you're talking about, you got your material. And there's nothing wrong with that. And nobody can debate you if you can be wrong. There's nothing wrong being wrong. And being able to admit it and being an adult to say I was wrong or I was right. But if you
that's why I said on the Justin situation, I feel like what the people, at least from my perspective, what I didn't take in consideration is what we call in project management is the pesto factors. And it P stands for political. I felt like there were political factors. It wasn't. I think only time will tell. It wasn't. I think time would tell, and I'll be happy to come back on the program and say I was wrong. I think time will tell that it wasn't a football thing. It wasn't an X's and O's thing. Time will tell that. The verdict's not out. Right? I think it was political. It was one CYA because I get more time. We're restarting with a quarterback, which now I will never doubt again. I would never doubt a GM's and a head coach's. More importantly, the importance of a GM getting his own quarterback, which we brought up before. People brought up before, but you kind of ignore it. You're like, all right, man, all right. A GM wants their own quarterback. I'm never doubting that ever again. A GM gonna want his own quarterback. They're gonna want to build their own team, their own regime, and they're just gonna go with that. It's just the political nature of the NFL. All right, cool. But you know what I'm saying? But I don't think, again, from a pure X and O standpoint, pure football, I think we'll find out that in the long run, and I'm willing to be wrong. I think we'll find in the long run that decision wasn't made purely off of football X and O. Y'all can try and trash the kid all y'all want to. You can say he's with another team. You can say he's punt returning. I'll just say, see how the whole situation. Let's wait to the end, see how it all plays out. Yeah, but that was something. Can we get to Shane Waldron, please?
Oh yeah.
All right, cool, man. Because this is part of it for me. Again, watching Shane Waldron. Again, my focus this year is more so, and that's the other part. My focus this year is more on Shane Waldron than it is Caleb Williams anyway, because year one, again, learning from the past, year one, I gave Luke Getsy benefit of the doubt. It wasn't to the end of year one, going in year two, and I was like, I don't know about this guy. I don't think. And if y'all remember, I was one of the very first people and one of the very adamant people that come out and be like, Luke Getsy is trash. I started most of that conversation before anybody was doing it. I started it on this channel right here. I was like, this ain't the dude. And was breaking him out, telling y'all why he wasn't the dude. Oh, it doesn't matter. And then probably year two, halfway through year two, towards the end of year two, everybody jumped on the train like, oh, yeah, this dude is terrible. He was terrible. So this is why I learned my lesson, paying very close attention. I'll get you after this clip, Lise. Paying very close attention to what this dude says right here. This is Shane Waldron talking about how much of the offense has been put in, because this is one of the questions I asked. I text and asked Kerry, because this is one of the things I wanted to know. How much of the offense has been installed?
24 season.
Would you say that you've thrown like the kitchen sink at him as far as everything in the offense, or kind of just more spoon-fed along?
Yeah, no physical kitchen sinks, but there's been a lot of plays. So, we've got, we've put a pretty good amount in, because a part of this in my mind is in our minds as an offensive staff is to really, build some volume in the offense, knowing that to see what all of our players can handle. We have a lot of different pieces to that puzzle, so wanting to see what different skill sets are going to be able to handle different parts of our offense, and then with that goal of building that towards training camp and then into the regular season. So he's dealt with a good amount of volume right now, and we'll continue to build on that until we get into a game plan mode.
That's a good sign. I like hearing that they put in, they've installed a good amount of volume, because the last thing you want to do as an offensive coordinator is hold back too much stuff, and then you get into a week, and then the week is spent, the time at practice during the week is spent installing something, because you only got so much time. That practice goes fast. That play script goes fast. You have to go through indies. You have to do all the fundamental stuff, and then you get a short play script with so many plays every day you get to run. So if I got to spend time slowing down and installing stuff during the season, then it's going to hold the whole progress of the team back, or the practice for that week. So if he can handle a great amount of volume, then it bodes well. So it's great to hear Shane say we got volume in. How they're going through the operations for that is probably, it's probably being modified a little bit to help make up to the deficiencies of what he didn't really understand or what he doesn't know. But the fact that they're getting it done is a great sign. That's all I want to say about that part. That's my first clip, by the way.
What was I going to say? I remember the Arizona game where we was literally beating the shit out of them. And in the third quarter, on our side, on their side of the 40, the Bears ran out of plays. Like, we got 8 minutes to go in the game. You're knocking on the door of another score, and me, the casual fan, could physically see on the television you're running a fucking Wildcat up 20. Come on. Like, are you serious, Luke Getsy?
Bro, listen, I highlighted so many times during the season, Jay, where Luke in the same situations ran the same play in the same situations over and over again. You're not going to convince me that Luke Getsy is some coaching guru no more than you're going to convince me that what's his name that's in New York with Aaron Rodgers, that got fired in Denver.
Nathaniel Hackett.
Nathaniel, you're going to, no more than you're going to convince me that Nathaniel Hackett is a coaching guru. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen.
Nathaniel Hackett.
And all the tropes, man, y'all got to stop that, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all got to stop it.
Nathaniel Hackett was trash. And that actually brought up an interesting question, because Irv asked about my thoughts on Zach Wilson. That's part of it. Nathaniel Hackett was not a good coach for the New York Jets. That's part of the reason why it didn't work out for Zach Wilson. Like, Zach Wilson was dealt a bad hand, and I will be the first to say that. And I like Zach Wilson more than most people, so there's also that. So I'm biased. but I felt like Zach Wilson was never given a fair shake. He had to go through coaches and OCs. His first 3 years in New York, and then they brought in Aaron Rodgers. The plan was to have him learn behind Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers pops his Achilles the first 5 plays into his first game as a Jet, and then that all crashed down. I think going to Denver will be good for Zach Wilson because he's under a coach in Sean Payton that don't know how to get the best out of him. So there's your answer. But I gotta head out. I'll see y'all.
That's it. We wrapping this thing up anyway. That was the last clip. I appreciate y'all. Every show not gonna be this long. This is our welcome back show. We had a few more people on today. Shout out to Bishop. Shout out to J2K. Everybody that makes this happen. J2K. Of course, Julius on screen today. He's filling in sort of for Bishop. He's usually just, you know what I'm saying, keeping the train moving behind the scenes. But every show ain't gonna be this long. We probably keep it about to an hour. But this is the welcome back show. I'll see y'all on Tuesday, man. We back on Tuesday. We're gonna start doing some more film work. On Tuesday's film work. Thursday, I'm gonna try to have guests on from different platforms. Definitely gonna have Harrison Graham on a lot this year. Jokes, Julius, right?
Yeah.
Buddy got it. He's like, he got to get up. But yeah, man, we definitely gonna have more people on. Again, it's about covering the team this year, man. It's about tracking the progress of the offense. The defense gets no grace. Matt Eberflus gets no grace. He better hit the ground running.
Doesn't. He does not get grace. No, he
doesn't. I ain't saying Caleb got 3 years. Show me. I ain't gonna say that's it.
Obviously, that's what I'm saying. Like, look, Julius and AJ's takes on the situation a lot tougher than mine. I ain't even putting the timeline on it. I'm not putting the.
No, I'm saying I'm gonna give him 3 years. I'm not
putting expectations on Caleb.
No expectations.
I'm not doing that.
3 years. I'm like, okay.
I just want to track the development. Whatever it is, I want to know why it is what it is.
Yeah.
In my eye, I want to be able to say, all right, cool, boom. Oh yeah, no, him and Shane is not jiving. It's no guarantee they're gonna be a good fit for each other. So I'm be like, hey, yeah, no, boom, no, or Shane is approaching the game plan the right way, or he isn't. Blah blah blah. I want to know why, compared to just being angry for no reason. Like that's just wasted emotion for me. So if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to be a part of. Come hang out with us here at Chicago Bears 360 with Coach T. Julius, AJ, Jay, Bishop. We're gonna have J2K up once I can get this timeline down.
Yeah,
who else?
Camera one day.
We're gonna have guests on. Bear probably be here on pretty soon. Harrison, we're gonna go through our normal cycle of guests that we did last summer and get all people up. So listen, watch in, tap in. We're gonna have fun with it this year. It's gonna be, I ain't beefing with nobody this year. So
I don't have the energy or brain cells to do so.
We already talked about this, Brent, but everybody's on the assumption that it's gonna be during Hard Knocks. They're gonna announce it. So
yeah, we'll see. He can't afford to miss no camp because he needs to be there in the building as much as possible. So I'm expecting. What's the day? So they got to report Tuesday, right? The rookies do.
18th, right?
16th.
Yeah, or the 16th.
16th. So that's Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. I think next week it gets done. Hopefully it does.
That's what I said. I think it'll get done before everyone has to report to camp.
All right, thanks for tapping in. Listen, I appreciate a good debate just as much as anybody and stuff like that. But trust me, man, we're not here to, you know what I'm saying? This not, I don't know, maybe y'all Fox News fans. I'm not. We're not here to spend nothing, man. We just here to cover the team, track the progress, and we'll let y'all know what we see, man. Other than that, any parting shots?
Prayers up for Donald Trump. Assassination attempt yesterday went awry.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was wild as hell.
Crazy.
You might not like the man, but hey, bro, that's wild.
That was wild as hell.
Crazy.
And then look,
crazy.
He gonna be on every T-shirt with a damn fist in his air,
bro.
Fist in the air like he's some type of hero.
Why'd the shooter look like Jeffrey Dahmer, bro? The shooter looked like Jeffrey Dahmer.
No. See, what y'all missed was how I was breaking that thing down for my wife from a Marine perspective. Once they put that graphic up, Julius, my fellow devil dog, know what I'm talking about. Once they put that graphic up that shows where the building was, it relates to the stage compared to the film. I'm breaking this down in my head, my wife, because you know, me and my brother, we love guns, right? So I was like, yeah, that wasn't no 22. That wasn't no 22 caliber.
Wasn't it an AR-15?
No, so it was probably my brother, me and my brother, like I said, my brother more so than me got an arsenal at the crib. I got a nice one, but he got Armageddon type stuff. Yeah, like if it go down, I'm going to my brother's house. So I was like, man, ain't no way that's a straight 22 caliber bullet that's traveling that far. It's only going to do 150 to 2 in distance, right? So I was like, they got to be a 5.56 or 7.62,
sure.
right?
It's definitely if it's that far, yeah.
But he corrected me. He said no, a 223 long rifle could go 400 to 500 meters, and he said also think about it. If it was a 5.56 or 7.62, the margin of error for a 5.56 or 7.62, he says a 5.56 7.62. He probably would have took his head off. He said if it was a 22, even matter of fact, he's like if it was a 5.56 or 7.62, it would have took his ear off.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Just going past it would have took something off.
It would have took his ear off. A higher caliber helicopter bullet so I was like, yeah, you're probably right on that one, bro. So and then the other part is, but I think the whole situation, to Jay's point, not to belay the topic, but to his point, you know what I'm saying, speedy recovery for the former president. You may not like it, but bruh, that's crazy work.
That was wild as hell.
And somebody died because of that.
Somebody lost a husband, a father, or a relative.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's crazy work, man.
Lost their lives, man.
This is why I really don't. And y'all notice it's probably be one of the only mentions of politics or anything related to on the show. I see people in the off season when the debate happened, they were, you know, and I joke about it, I'll troll about it because I really don't like politics. I hate it. I hate the whole idea of it. It's just not. You know what I'm saying?
People too much for me.
It's just not cool. Not saying that like Bears football is any better, but come on. But anyway, man, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all hanging out again to the team. We won't be this long every week because a lot of y'all, Jay, a lot of us are gonna be going to games, so we'll be off here by the end on Sunday. So I appreciate y'all hanging out. But for now until next time, y'all know the thing, man. Past, present, future. Chicago Bears 360. We bear down. I'll see you and talk to y'all next time. Peace and we out. Let's see if I got an intro, outro. There you go. Boom.